This is Retro Sports Radio. Visit RetroSeasons.com for more sports history.
The Pittsburgh Steelers faced the Baltimore Colts at Memorial Stadium for the opening round of the NFL playoffs on Sunday, December 19th, 1976. The Steelers were coached by Chuck Noll and were the defending back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Baltimore was coached by Ted Marchibroda. They had reached the playoffs for the first time in 5 years in 1975, but they were knocked out in the first round against the Steelers. This audio recording is from the Baltimore radio broadcast featuring announcers Chuck Thompson, Vince Bagley, and Art Donovan.
The Steelers, as everybody has known, have done this year what the Colts did a year ago, just beat everybody right on through and have allowed only, 28 points, winning 9 straight ball games. And that emotion has carried them into what they face this afternoon, battling the Baltimore Colts. And emotion is one of the more important factors any team can bring to any football game. We're all ready to go. Linhart moving on the football, swings a leg, he hits it good. A fine Linhart kickoff, pulled back to the 2-yard line. He is straight ahead over the 10, the 15. Still on his feet. Whoop, popped up, fumble, big pile up at the 22. A big pile up at the 22-yard line, and it looks as though the Steelers covered the football. They did. Poe was really racked. He was poleaxed. And Fuqua covered his fumble. It is a Steeler ball, first down at the 22.
You say that he didn't take a shot?
Yeah, he really did. I think Jimmy Kennedy nailed him, and Fuqua recovered it. They were lucky.
He won't want to play anymore today.
Vince Bagley, and we're very happy to have with us Arthur Donovan, and we got to try to keep Arthur as close to that mic as we can so we can be sure and hear the Donovan comments this afternoon. First down for the Steelers at their own 22-yard line. Closer, let's call it the 23 as we get things started, and they're waiting for Poe to leave field. He is still not feeling too good. Rocky Blyer and Franco Harris will be the running backs, and Lewis comes wide to the left side, and going far to the other side is Lynn Swan, number 88, is far right, and Lewis is wide left in a standard pro set. The turn, the give goes to Harris off the left side, nowhere, as he gets stuck pretty good by, it looked like Stan White, first of all, and Darrell Luce. He managed to carry to the 25. Second down, 8 Steelers at their own 25.
He lunged. He did the old Lydell Mitchell lunge, though, after they hit him.
Most of the good running backs, Vince, all fall the same way. They fall toward that line of scrimmage or toward that goal line.
That's that second effort, Chuck.
That's what does it. Lewis wide to the left, Swan wide to the right. Now Bradshaw splits the backfield. No man directly behind the talented Steeler quarterback. A handoff to Blyer, a sweep of his right end, caught from behind, and down he goes to his own backfield. Jim Chiunsky with a quick reaction, caught him from behind, and dropped him at about the 24-yard line.
Chiunsky just followed the pulling guard, and there was nobody there to pick him up, and he come in there free and makes a great play.
Which brings up third down and 9 at the 26-yard line. Brian Salter comes in. Jim Chiunsky drops out. Colts now 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, 5 deep defenders on a passing down. 3rd and 9, Pittsburgh at their own 24-yard line. Same offensive set for. Now they got another number in there. Looked like Stallworth is in the ball game. Set out wide to the left side of the set. Waiting for the takeaway. Bradshaw is back to pass. A deep drop. Sets. Has time. Firing the bomb. All alone. Frank Lewis. He's got it at the 20, and Lewis is going to the 10, to the 5. He scores.
There you are. You give a team that kind of time to throw the ball, they're going to kill you.
There's a thing where you could the ball game turns around. They fumble the opening kickoff. It came loose. They recovered it. And 3 plays later, they have a score.
You'll see the Colts got a game going on, Vince.
Yeah.
And actually, they're going the wrong way. The straightest distance between 2 lines is straight. And they got a game, and they get picked up, and that's it.
76 yards. And Baltimore would suppose to have had the bomb, and certainly has it. Pittsburgh, however, ironically scores on the bomb the first time they throw the ball.
There was just no contest. Lewis completely outraced the Colt defenders. He had as much as 4 and 5 steps on the only man near him, Jackie Wallace. The Bradshaw pass right on the money. They lead 6-0. Jarrella now ready to make it 7-0 if he can do so. Waiting for the snap on the spot. There it is. High snap. Spot is okay. Kick is up in the air, and he missed it. He missed the point after touchdown. Jarrella blew a point after touchdown, and it is now Baltimore and the Steelers in a 6-0 ball game. We have to change the notebook. The Steelers lead it 6-0, and that old automatic point after touchdown is not so automatic this year.
That's what very often happens with those soccer kickers. He pulled it left, and it was wide, no good. So maybe it'll mean something later on. The Colts stuck early, though. Have to come back right away.
It's the 4th time this year Jarrella has missed a point after touchdown. And it is 6-0, and that could be a heck of a big point in any kind of a ball game as important as this. But that deep bomb from Bradshaw to Lewis has got to give the Colts secondary a little something to think about. As in the very first offensive series, they go 76 yards, Bradshaw to Lewis, and lead it 6-0. Colt defensive unit, as I look at them down on the sideline, are still stamping around and very, very upset over what took place. Girella will kick it off down on the goal line. Howard Stevens of the Colts waiting for it. Girella moves, hits it. He squibs it along, bouncing it along. It's going to be picked up by no one, but going to go out of bounds, and they'll kick it over again. Well, Ron Lee was around and Bruce Laird was around the football, but nobody bothered to pick it up. It went out of bounds at about the 26-yard line, and therefore the Steelers go back and do it again.
I believe this guy Girella was a soccer player. You don't look like he's a kicker.
Well, Dunny's been a great one, but if he hurt and maybe his hurt stayed with him. I don't understand why they didn't pick it up. Dunny, why wouldn't they have picked up, try to get it out to the 35 or so?
Well, evidently they figure he can't kick the ball that deep, Vince, and they'll take the 5-yard penalty and let him try to do his thing again. And, you know, on the extra point that he missed, it was a high snap from center. Yeah, and that could have been part of what happened.
Right. All you need is that little bit of a fraction of a second to set the timing off. And,
right.
And Girella missed the point after. Now from the 30-yard line, Girella will kick it off again. We'll talk a little bit more about the Girella injury on a kicker. It's a groin pull, and it's a very bothersome thing as he swings a leg. Kicking off a lot more difficult than kicking, points after. He hits it poorly again, and Ron Lee fumbled it. It's recovered by Bruce Laird. No, he fumbled it. Now Laird picks it up. Laird at the 30-yard line, handling the ball one-handed. It is down at the 30-yard line. Laird couldn't find any daylight. He couldn't find anywhere to go. Number 51, Leon Toes, came in to make the tackle. Baltimore goes to work, first down at their own 30.
We got a little fight going down there with 47.
Sanders Shiver trying to upset Blount because they're going to be after Blount later on. Mel Blount, the right cornerback.
Oh, that's the guy that... we got our road runner started now. We'll see what Birdie Boy can do with Carr. Set him loose.
With White Lightning, Dowdy wide to the right, Carr goes wide to the left. And you've got Roosevelt Leaks and Lydell Mitchell as setbacks in behind Jones in a standard pro set. Chester, the tight end, on the right end of the line. Turn the give to the second man. That's Lydell nowhere. He got into the middle of the line, squirted it through for maybe 2 yards. Jack Lambert, and if he isn't one of the best linebackers I have ever seen, I'll wait for a better one to come along.
Lydell got 2 on his own, and there was no hole at all.
Second down, 8, Baltimore at their own 32. The Steelers 6, the Baltimore Colts nothing. The Steelers scored on a 76-yard bomb. Bradshaw to Lewis, and Girella missed the point after.
Vince, I think the key to our offense today is I think they've got to get a lot of production out of Lydell Mitchell. If they don't, I think they're going to be in trouble.
Well, now both Dowdy and Carr are wide to the left side. Slot left is Dowdy, wide to the left is Carr. See if they stay that way, and they do. The takeaway, the gift to Roosevelt Leaks left side, and he is just able to bang it out about to the 35-yard line. Goes Roosevelt, and 2 or 3 of the Steelers in there to wrap him up, including number 34, Andy Russell, a 34-year-old linebacker. Trailing the play, number 78 is Dwight White.
They're going to have to get some production out of the runners. That's right, whether it be Leaks or Mitchell, just to loosen it up a little bit.
I had a dream last night that this guy Ron Lee was going to be the hero of the game, but he hasn't played yet.
Well, they've just dropped defensive lineman Ernie Holmes out of the ball game, and they've added a defensive back, number 31, Donnie Shell. And here are the Colts in a double wing formation with a 3rd and 5 at their own 35. Don McCauley, the only man behind quarterback Jones. He's back to throw. Sets up, looks, fires down the gut, incomplete. Mitchell, the receiver at the 45-yard line, dropped the football. It was a little bit behind him.
Very catchable, but it hit him in the hip and got away. So there was an offside, however.
We got the ball.
Baltimore retains possession. I don't know whether it's enough for a first down, but it's very close at the 40-yard line.
That ball hit Mitchell in a bad place, the hands.
Well, here's the 5-yard step off, and they put it down, and it should be enough for a first down. They are indicating that, and it is offside, first down, a big break for the Colts to keep a drive going. At the 40-yard line, first down for Baltimore. 6-0 the Steelers lead here in the opening moments of play. Beautiful afternoon in Baltimore. Roger Carr and Dowdy both are wide to the right side of the set. That leaves Roosevelt Leaks and Lydell Mitchell as running backs behind Jones. Chester, tight end, left end of the line. Waiting for the snap to Jones. He turns, rolls back a bit to his right, sets up, fires. It is going to be incomplete and almost picked off by the leaping linebacker, Jack Ham. And that is one thing these Steeler linebackers do as well as anybody in football, drop back in the pass coverage.
Chuck, and Vince, he had a little bit of pressure on him too, Jones did, because Joe Green and the right defensive end, they were in there putting a lot of pressure on Jones. And he had to throw the ball a little sooner than he wanted to.
Well, I'm glad he threw it a little higher than he wanted to. because that got away from Ham as a result, Donnie.
All ready to go with a 2nd and 10. Baltimore at their own 40-yard line. Dowdy trotting out wide right. Carr goes the other way. They go to a double wing. On one wing, Dowdy on the right side. On the left side, Lydell Mitchell. Leaks, the only man in the backfield behind Jones. 2nd and 2. Whoops! The Steelers jump off and make contact. And if it's not illegal procedure against Baltimore, the Colts will pick up 5. Mean Joe Green.
I really believe Jones moved.
If it's not illegal procedure against Baltimore, we'll know in a moment. Here's Pat Haggerty. He indicates offside Steelers. So it is 2nd and 5. The ball now at the Colt 45-yard line, and the only offense the Colts have shown so far has been the Pittsburgh Steelers' mistakes.
Maybe it's better to be lucky than good.
Number 75, defense.
You're right, Artie. It was Joe Green, number 75, who made contact. 2nd down and 5. Baltimore at their own 45-yard line. The Steelers got unwheeled and untracked in a big hurry, leading 6-0. Dowdy wide to the right side. Roger Carr split off on the left. Waiting for the snap to Jones in motion. Back toward the backfield. Dowdy to give to Lydell. The sweep on the right side. Makes a cut and gets pinched in there. And that great big linebacker Jack Lambert was over there to plug up that hole. And the gain is good about to the 47-yard line, where it's now 3rd and 3 at the Colt 47.
Well, they said they couldn't jam it down their throats. They're short testing them, aren't they, Donnie?
Yeah, they're trying to, but I don't see they're wasting time. We do what you think is best, and I think what we do best is throw the ball at the Carr. And that's what I thought Jonesy ought to start doing.
Well, on a 3rd down 3 at the 47, we'll know in a moment as Carr goes wide to the left side. Dowdy comes wide to the right. And now they turn it into a double wing. Dowdy, the wing on the right side, and Lydell, the wing on the left side. Only man behind the quarterback is Don McCauley. Back to throw is Jones. Drills his pass, caught by Lydell Mitchell, and out of bounds at the Steeler 47-yard line for a 1st down. Glenn Edwards made the tackle for the Steelers.
The guy that made that play was McCauley, picking up the blitzing middle guard. He did a good job of blocking for Jones then. Here they come.
At the 48-yard line of the Steelers, 1st down for the Baltimore Colts. A drive that started at their own 30, now at the Steeler 48, abetted by 2 Steeler penalties. One was an offside. Both were offside penalties, as a matter of fact. We'll get Arthur to talk a little bit about Joe Green later on in the ball game. He every now and then is found lining up offside. He really gets right on the nose of the football.
He's closer to the center than he is to the guard.
And we're in an I formation. Leaks the front man, Lydell, the second man. Fake to Lydell, a deep drop. Jones firing for broke. Here comes Roger Carr, but it's intercepted by Wagner. Wagner's got it to the Steeler 20, along the 25, and is being chased by Roosevelt Leaks, and down he goes at about the 23-yard line. Bert Jones also in on the tackle.
Oh, Bert Jones really moved down there, but he had pressure on him. He really did. He got hit just as he threw the ball.
With the score, the Steelers 6, the Colts nothing. There's a break in the action. Let's pause now for this message.
Sailboat racing season's almost over. We won't have any more chances to win this year.
Sure we will. The lottery's giving us a lot more chances to win in the weekly games. You know, in the Super 50-cent game, there are now 2 big chances to win the $1 million prize. And in the 17 for $1, 17 chances for weekly prizes up to $125,000.
Wow, that sounds great.
But remember, in the lottery, you gotta play to win.
Oh, that's like sailing.
How?
Well, in sailing, you gotta have wind to play.
Oh.
Ooh.
They're the same ornaments and the same lights, but somehow this year's tree is always more beautiful than last year's. And we at Household Finance hope this holiday season will be the best and happiest ever for your family. If we can make the coming year happier or more enjoyable for you, just call Household Finance, an equal opportunity lender.
With the Steelers leading 6-0, we mentioned on the pass to Lewis that the only man near him was Jackie Wallace. Don't misinterpret that remark. That doesn't mean necessarily that it was Jackie's mistake or his fault. It just might have been a missed coverage, and Jack just turned out to be the only man close enough to give any kind of a chase. But it was a perfectly thrown pass from Bradshaw to Lewis that accounts for the Steelers leading by a score of 6-0. And under, very strong pressure, Bert Jones has just thrown. It was intercepted by Wagner of the Steelers, and they go to work at their own 22-yard line, 1st down. Lewis wide to the left side of the set, and going the other way over there now is 88 Lynn Swan, and we've got Fuqua in the backfield, along with Franco Harris, waiting for the takeaway by quarterback Bradshaw. He turns, gives it to the first man through, and that is Franco Harris, and he is out about to the 28. maybe 29, no, let's call it 28-yard line before Bruce Laird, among others, able to make the stop.
That was just straight blocking. They blew our defensive line out on that play. He picked up 5-6 yards, just a straight handoff.
Second down and 4 for the Steelers. On a straight-ahead buck from Franco Harris. Now Fuqua and Harris side to side on the backfield. Swan wide to the right side, and it looks like Stallworth now. 82 is wide to the left side of the set. And the turn, the give goes to Franco Harris. Hit and shakes a tackler. Bruce Laird caught him and took him down in his own backfield. Darrell Lewis tried to put him down. He didn't get him, but he slowed him up enough so that Bruce Laird could get there and floor him at the Steeler 27, a loss of 2.
That's good defensive play. Luce actually forced that play, Chuck, where Franco Harris couldn't turn the corner, and Bruce Laird came up like a defensive safety should. There goes Rocky Blyer leaving the field now.
They're taking Blyer into the dressing room. He seems, walking all right. I haven't any idea what the injury is. We'll get the information to you as quickly as we can right now. Steelers, 3rd and 6 at their own 27. They had 3rd and 9 at their own 24 and scored the last time. Takeaway by Bradshaw. Deep drop, wants to fire. No pressure. Fires down the middle. It is caught by Lewis at midfield, and he is taken down at the Baltimore 45. The tackle credit, Bruce Laird and Jack Wallace. First down, Steelers at the Colt 45.
Watching this guy only throw 2 passes, Chuck, and no pressure at all, we're going to have to start blitzing, really. Because nobody was in 5 yards of Bradshaw when he got rid of the ball.
Look at the deep drop, though, Dunny. He's 15 yards back. He looked like a punter from the distance back of the scrimmage line when he threw the ball. Nobody talked about Frank Lewis this week. He's 2 for 2, one all the way.
Yeah, well, then we better start blitzing, Vince, to get some pressure on him.
Swan goes wide to the right side, Stallworth wide to the left side, and it's first down at the Baltimore 46. Steelers in possession. The give goes to Franco Harris, swings to the left side, and is going to be caught and down in his own backfield. Jackie Wallace got there enough to slow him up and trip him, and then Mike Barnes got into the flow along with Stan White, and they put him down maybe at the 45. We'll see whether if now they put it down at the line of scrimmage again. 2nd and 10 at the Colt 46. The injury to Rocky Blyer is a foot injury. However, he did not seem to give evidence of too much discomfort as he walked into the dressing room. But they're back there to see if they can't rewrap the foot, of course, to give him some comfort and allow him to play a little bit better. Now Lewis back in as wide left, and Lynn Swan is wide to the right. Steeler quarterback yanks away without a fake. He wants to throw. No pressure again. He fires upfield and is knocked down by Jackie Wallace. And a penalty flag dropped at the 25-yard line of the Baltimore Colts. Frenchie Fuqua was down there, and it might be Stan White interfering with him.
I think Chayonsky tripped number 33. Who is?
It's pass interference, Baltimore. First down for the Steelers.
I think Chayonsky tripped Fuqua. You're saying about Rocky Blyer going to get a shot. First down.
They got Stan White, according to Pat Haggerty. The outside linebacker on the right who tripped Fuqua.
The ball is spotted now. They're going to put it down at about the 31-yard line of the Baltimore Colts on a pass interference penalty against Stan White. He tripped Fuqua. That is not to say he did it intentionally. He does not have to do it intentionally. You get your feet wrapped up, and that can happen, and has happened frequently, and it's a pass interference call against Stan White.
Fuqua's hurt, too. He's limping.
Well, we've got Stallworth wide left, wide right, Swan. We've got Fuqua and Franco Harris as running backs. First down, Pittsburgh at the Baltimore 31. Bradshaw fakes and gives it off to Franco Harris, swinging around his own right end, stops, makes a cut, and down he goes at the 30. Baltimore defensing the running efforts of Franco Harris very well at this early point of the ball game. Jim Chayonsky got tackle credit at the 30-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Sonny, why technically are we doing such a good job against the sweeps? We've not allowed anything on sweeps.
I don't think we've ever allowed anything the whole season. I think we've been very strong against sweeps, Vince. I think our weakness as far as the run is concerned is running right out our defensive line.
Yeah.
And they're not doing that.
Frank Lewis wide to the left side, split out to the right side now is Lynn Swan. You got Franco Harris and Fuqua. Here's a swing pass to Fuqua on the right side. He is making a cut and hit from behind at about the 27 or 8-yard line. Fred Cook got to him very quickly. Mike Barnes is also in on the play. And Bruce Laird also down around the ball, along with Darrell Luce, and the ball is spotted at the Colt 27, gain of 3, 3rd and 6.
Vince, I think you'll find that our defensive line very agile as far as getting out, into the flow. I don't think we're that strong against running right at them.
Yeah.
3rd down and 6 at the Baltimore Colt 27-yard line. This game is going to be replete and full of big plays, and here's one of them right now. Lewis and Swan are wide to the right side. Stallworth splits off wide to the left side. all ready to go. The Colts jump off and got back. Now Franco Harris moves. He's in motion, and back to throw goes Bradshaw. The penalty flag is down. The throw coming to the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Lynn Swan down around the 5-yard line, but a penalty flag has been dropped in the Steeler backfield.
Perfectly thrown ball. Swan couldn't quite pull it in. Taking a good catch to get it, but...
Let's see what this is all about. Listen to the referee. It's illegal procedure against the Steelers. The illegal motion, I think an illegal shift from Franco Harris might be the reason. We'll know in a moment when we hear from Haggerty. Whoops, hold on a minute there, Mr. Referee. He got all tangled up with Sam Davis.
Illegal motion, number 33, offense, decline.
We're wrong. It was Fuqua who was in motion, and it was declined by the Baltimore Colts. And here comes Roy Girella to kick a field goal. It'll be spotted at the 37-yard line, meaning it's a 47-yard field goal effort. He's been successful 4 of 7 tries outside the 40-yard line.
Let's see if Mike Barnes doesn't block this one.
Well, they're going to put it down at the 35, so it becomes a 45-yard field goal effort.
Well, if he hurts, we'll know now, because they said about...
They'll give him two chances to kick the ball. Down to the 10 and another kick over the goalpost.
All ready to go. We're waiting for the snap. Still wait for the snap. There it is. Spot kick on the way. Headed toward the uprights. It's going to be good. Girella has hit it from 45 yards out, and it's now the Steelers 9, the Baltimore Colts nothing with a score. Pittsburgh 9, the Colts nothing. Timeout here in Baltimore. Back in 60 seconds.
When our great-grandfathers wanted the vested look, they came to hamburgers. And when our grandfathers wanted the double-breasted look, they came to hamburgers. And when our fathers wanted the Ivy League look, they found it at hamburgers. Because since 1850, there has only been one leader in fashion. And deserving that reputation took more than just offering the highest quality merchandise. It also meant being the leader in service. Our specially trained salespeople have never settled for just giving directions. Instead, they've always helped you find what you want and have seen to it that you get the attention and the fit you expect from a leader in fashion. Hamburgers, the best place to look when you want to look your best.
Well, we'll have Girella ready to kick off. Down on the 5-yard line, Howard Stevens waiting. Girella moves at the ball, hits it. He's got a kind of a sailing knuckleball to Stevens at the 10, to the 15, now the 20, 25, 30, and head on into number 54, and taken down at that spot, Marv Kellum, a linebacker. And they pick Stevens up and run him all the way back to the 15, and I don't know what's going on now, but all of a sudden, there's a little bit of a brawl. For WNAV in Annapolis, Maryland, and all of our network stations, we pause now for station identification. This is the Metro Media Baltimore Colts Football Network.
Hi, this is Jack Edwards with you each night, 7 until midnight on 68 WCBM Metro Media Radio Baltimore.
WCBM Colts Radio.
Some of these guys figure they shouldn't be touched. I don't know. Look at this. Atta boy, Howard, go after him.
Well, in the first offensive play, we had a carry up the middle by Lydell, good for 2 yards to the 32-yard line. Rather good for 1 yard to the 32-yard line, and now it's Baltimore, 2nd down and 9 at their own 32. The Steelers have just dominated the ball game through this first period with about 5:50 remaining in a split backfield right now. Carr to the left side, Dowdy to the right side. Jones looking at the Steeler defensive unit, takes it away, gives it to Lydell. Lydell, and a quick hitter, goes straight up the middle to about the 35, and a penalty flag follows him. Andy Russell is there to rope him.
Look at a motion penalty against the Colts. I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh declines.
I think these officials watched the game yesterday. They want to throw as many flags.
Well, as far as I can see, Arthur, maybe they do want to match them in flags thrown, but I can see justification for these penalty markers.
Yeah.
There were a few I watched in Oakland yesterday. I just couldn't figure out.
Vince, I'm waiting for Roger for Bert Jones to really unload.
Well, he's tried to unload. He hadn't had time to unload. I'm waiting for him to throw it to backs coming out of the backfield. He said,
Here's Haggerty.
Number 26, declined. Third down.
Steelers declined. They they might not throw to the backs coming out of there because of those super linebackers who are as fast as a lot of backs.
It was Lydell Mitchell who moved prior to the snap, and they declined the motion penalty to bring up 3rd down 6, Baltimore at their own 35. Baltimore spills out of the huddle. Carr comes wide to the right side. Dowdy goes to the left side. They go to a double wing. And Lydell is the wing man on the right side. On the other side, it is Dowdy. The takeaway by Jones. He rolls to the left, wants to throw, fires. Chester makes a heck of a catch at the 46-yard line. Raymond Chester, a diving grab, as good a catch as Raymond has made all year to pick up 1st down Baltimore at the 46.
This is good. They got one-on-one. He makes a real good move to the outside. Great effort. Really a great effort.
You know, another thing, if they're doubling the wide guys, Raymond's going to get open, and they're going to have to throw to him. How many times are you allowed to chug the end coming out? One time?
One time.
Well, you ought to watch 24 against Carr.
That's one time legally.
One time if you don't get caught, 20 times.
That's right. I formation right now. Leaks the front man. Lydell, the second man. The give goes to Lydell. Lydell hits a pretty good hole and gets roped off his pins at about midfield. It's Jack Russell Andy Russell down at the bottom of the pile making the tackle for Pittsburgh. And somebody nailed him right up around the ears coming through the hole and knocked him off. A pickup of 4 brings up 2nd down 6 Baltimore at the 50.
Sonny, I like the way the Colts aren't panicking. They're behind 9-0, but they haven't gone to the offense that they'd use if it was a minute left in the game or anything. They're being conservative.
Well, you go, Vince, with what your game plans are, and you just, that's what you think you can do best against the team, and that's what you got to stay with.
Dowdy wide to the right side of the set. Carr the other way. Jones to the second man out of the eye. Lydell Mitchell bouncing off people down to the Steeler 48. And he is going to be roped and pulled back there. J.T. Thomas, Jack Ham in on the tackle. And also that good defensive safety man, Glenn Edwards, helped out.
There was just no hole at all, period.
We're really coming up with a lot of 3rd and 4s and 5s, though. That's tough.
Yeah, we have had a 3rd and 5. We've had a 3rd and 3. We have had a 3rd and 6. Now a 3rd and 4.
A situation like this, though, every once in a while you cough that ball up. Let's see if he doesn't go back to Chester again. Right down over the middle.
Dowdy wide right, Carr the other way. Wing to the left side is Lydell Mitchell. McCauley, the only man behind the quarterback, Jones. 3rd and 4 at the 48 of the Steelers. Back to throw. Bert looks twice, throws it down the middle. Chester's got it. He's in the grasp of the tackler, and down he goes at the Steeler 42-yard line. The tackler was Jack Ham. It's 1st down Baltimore, and Artie Donovan called it right on the money, Vince. He said Chester right down the middle, and that's where it went.
Absolutely. He had the left linebacker playing.
This guy, he's all over him. He's over him like an octopus.
At the Steeler 41-yard line, Baltimore with a 1st down. Pittsburgh 9, Baltimore nothing. Time remaining 1st quarter, 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Carr wide left side, Dowdy wide right. Chester a tight end, right end of the line. I formation, Leaks the front man, Lydell the second man.
Ideal time for the bomb. Ideal.
But Jones play action, takes the handoff, rolls deep, rolls to his right, looks for the receiver, lobs it upfield, Lydell at the 30, Lydell to the 25. Mitchell on his feet at the Steeler 20-yard line.
Great run.
And Bert had the option. He might have been able to run for half of that. Lydell's great elusive ability got him twice as much as he deserved. He got it to the 21-yard gain.
Well, a Baltimore Colt drive that started at a Colt 31-yard line right now is to the Steeler 20-yard line. Carr wide left, Dowdy wide right. I formation is shown. Roosevelt leaks the front man of the eye. Lydell the second man. Chester tight end, right end of the line. Waiting for the snap from Mendenhall. Jones has the first man as Leaks. He gets the handoff and powers over the left side down to about the Steelers 16, where he is stacked up by L.C. Greenwood.
Well, that's good. That's a good run there. He picked up, 4 yards?
4 is right.
Yeah, not bad at all. That was the play before on the pass to Mitchell. That was where it was a busted play, really. Jones had to roll out of there, and he comes up with a 1st down.
A year ago in a game like this, a fellow like Bert Jones might have been running with that football. Today, a year's maturity is there. A year more of the smarts, as they sometimes say, and he hit his man, Lydell Mitchell. 2nd down 6 at the Steelers 16. Split in the backfield. Nobody behind the quarterback, Jones. Jones right back to throw. No fake. Sets up. Good protection. Firing to the end zone. Roger Carr. Touchdown. Touchdown, Carr.
Well, you take a 17-yard bomb with a catch like that. A diving catch in the cinders in Oarsville, made famous by Jimmy Orr a few years ago.
And you know, Vince, he really got hit on that play as he released that ball.
I saw it.
Well, Artie Donovan kept saying, Vince, I wonder where Carr is. Well, when's he going to go to Carr? I think he should go to Carr. He did go to Carr. The Colts are on the board with a touchdown. And now Tony Linhart will try to add the point after touchdown out of a hold by Bill Troop. Snap, spot, kick. Good. No penalty flags. And there is a timeout with a score. The Steelers 9 and the Colts 7.
They're sweet handling cars. The 77 Mustang 2. With a package of handling features no other domestic car in its class offers. 4 on the floor, front disc brakes, staggered shocks, wide stance, and rack and pinion steering. All standard on every Mustang. Drive one. You have to feel them in action. See all the 77 Mustang 2s, hatchbacks, notchbacks, Kias, and the Super Coupes Mach 1 and Cobra 2. Test drive one at your Ford dealer. When America needs a better idea, Ford puts it on wheels.
See your local Ford dealer. The better idea guys.
Well, the first half of the first quarter definitely belonged to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They hung up a quick 9 points. The second half of this quarter belongs to the Baltimore Colts, so they have just come off a 9-play drive that covered 69 yards and was culminated on a 16-down touchdown pass, Jones to Roger Carr. It's now the Steelers 9, the Colts 7, with a minute 17 remaining in the first quarter. Linhart to kick off. Downfield, Theo Bell on the near sideline. Across the way, it looks like it's Fuqua. And the middleman is, again, the fellow who got hurt on the opening kickoff, Ernie Poe.
Here comes Rocky Bryant back, but he's limping worse now than he did when he left the field.
That's exactly right, he is. Here is Linhart moving on the football. Swings a leg. Tony hits it pretty good, high and fairly deep. And it's taken down there by Theo Bell at the 10 to the 15, laterally along the 20 to the 25, cuts outside in the open, and Theo Bell is up to midfield into Colt territory, and it's going to be pulled out of bounds around the Baltimore 32 or 3-yard line. Theo Bell, the returner, and Ricky Thompson, the man who prevented the touchdown.
You know, this week Linhart told me that's the ideal kickoff. To the side of the field about the 8-yard line. That's the spot because the sprint men can get down if the ball's high enough as that was, but he got away from that, immediately broke it to the other side, and Pittsburgh is in super position at the Colts around the 32.
That guy had to run 1,000 yards. He ran away all the way to the other side of the field before he turned up.
First down, Steelers at the Baltimore Colts 32 3-yard line. The turn, the handoff to Franco Harris off the right side into the opening edge down to the 20-yard line, and then gang tackled and taken down at the 20-yard line. It looked like Jackie Wallace along with Stan White helped their roll the big man over at the 20, and he's got a first down. Steelers at the Colt 20.
It's just a straight handoff, just good blocking at the point of attack. He's missed by Chayunsky. It looks like Muffin is trying to get out of the way, and here comes Wallace over. Oh, he'd been gone for 6.
Not very fancy, but
first down at the 20. This time they've got number 82, John Stallworth, wide left, Swan wide right. They're set. The takeaway, the give goes to Franco Harris into the middle. He fights for running room and crashes inside the 15-yard line before being taken down by Fred Cook. And Freddie had a little help from guys like John Dutton and Bruce Laird. And the gain is being marked right about at the 15-yard line. So it's second down and 5.
This guy's a great runner. The hole wasn't there at the point of attack, and he just veered a little bit to his right and picks up 5 yards. But big man, that's really moving.
Stallworth and Lewis keep bringing plays in, and they're alternating. And we now have come to the end of the first quarter with our score. The Steelers 9 and the Colts 7. Well, we're ready to go now to the second period of play. The Steelers lead at 9-7. That touchdown pass, Jones to Roger Carr, to put the Colts on the board, is the first touchdown against the Steelers in the first quarter this year.
Chuck, one of the highlights of this team consistently through the years been its ability, Baltimore that is, to make a big defensive play when they need it. They scored, they were back in it, 9-7. Pittsburgh got that great kickoff return, and now they're down at inside the 15-yard line. So Baltimore, if ever, needs a big defensive play now to kind of get the momentum back a little bit.
I would look right now, Vince. I would look for Bradshaw to throw a pass off a play action.
yeah.
Let me see now.
Well, we've got Lewis wide to the left side and Swan wide to the right. Fuqua and Franco Harris are the running backs behind Bradshaw. The turn, the give goes to Franco Harris right up the middle, running over the top of people down to about the 11 yards. To the 6-yard line goes Franco Harris.
Evidently, Bradshaw didn't hear me.
Well, listen, I'll tell you, he wore the same number. Does he remind you of Jim Brown, the way he runs?
No, he runs over people. Jim Brown used to run around him. This guy is something else.
It is first and goal, Pittsburgh at the Baltimore, just inside the Baltimore 7-yard line. First and goal.
You got to give the dudes up front on the offensive line of the Steelers a little bit of credit, too, because there was a hole that I could have run through then. And I couldn't run too fast.
All ready to go with Fuqua and Franco Harris to split backfield. Nobody behind Bradshaw. First down at the 6. Bradshaw gives it off to Fuqua off the right side. He has chopped off his pins inside the 5. It looked like Chyunsky got a hunk of him, and then Jack Wallace also peeled in there to take him down at about the, let's see where they put the football down, around the 3-yard line.
I thought maybe the crowd, who makes a lot of noise in the closed end, might help out here in the goal line stand.
Well, they're very quiet now. And actually, what Steelers' offensive line is doing now, they're just challenging Baltimore's defensive front four.
Wallace coming out of the game. Dan Dickel, another linebacker, goes in. Pittsburgh lines up in a standard pro set, shoulder to shoulder. Fuqua and Franco Harris. The give to Franco Harris, left side, down to about the 1, and I don't know, the angle's too bad, I can't call. He didn't get in. He is shy, about a foot or so. Down around the Cole 1-yard line. Third down coming.
Let's look and see if Bradshaw doesn't pull another play like, what's his name did yesterday, Stabler.
Why?
Huh?
Take a chance on getting hurt with Franco in the game, give it to Franco, and here we go.
Okay, Vince.
Well, they have a new running back in there. Franco Harris is out. Reggie Harrison is in along with Fuqua. Third down and goal at the 1-foot line. The turn, they give to Harrison off the right side. Touchdown, Steelers. Harrison off the right side, went in without too much trouble.
They just blew Chyunsky, Cook, and Mike Barnes right out of there. They folded the left side of our defensive line right down into the middle.
Leaving it up to Lloyd Mumford to try to hold them off, and that was an overmatch.
It's just good running. It just blows through people.
Well, the Steelers have run as well, if not better, than anybody in the league this year, and they're showing the Baltimore Colts defensive unit that they didn't get here on good breaks and luck. Waiting for the point after touchdown. The snap, still wait. There's a snap, the spot. The kick is in the air, and Girella does it this time. Let's see if there's a penalty flag down. There aren't any penalty flags. Kick is good, and so the Steelers have added another 7 with a score. The Steelers 16, the Colts 7. There's timeout in Baltimore, back in 1 minute.
If you're a workshop Willie, you'll be interested to know about the fantastic sale of portable power tools at Montgomery Ward. Monday and Tuesday during Ward's Christmas gift sale, you can save over $15 on your choice of 3 of Ward's most popular Powercraft tools. They're on sale for only $19.88 each. First, you can choose Ward's heavy-duty dual-action sander that operates with straight line or orbital sanding. Or you can select Ward's variable speed saber saw with adjustable rip guide. Thumb action speed control for 0 to 3,600 strokes per minute. Why, you can even get a variable speed and reversible 3/8-inch drill. That's complete with auxiliary handle. All 3 of these great Powercraft tools are double insulated for safety. Regularly, $34.99 each. It's your choice for only $19.88. Saber saw, heavy-duty sander, variable speed, and reversible drill, only $19.88 each. Monday and Tuesday only, during Montgomery Ward's fantastic Christmas gift sale.
Well, we're all ready for the kickoff, and it'll be Girella kicking off to Howard Stevens down on the goal line. Chuck Thompson with Vince Bagley, and we're happy to have the Hall of Famer Arthur Donovan with us this afternoon.
Hey, Vince, if I'm the coach of the Colts, I got to move Howard Stevens up to the 15-yard line.
Yeah.
Because I have a running head start on these dudes coming down. This guy isn't going to kick it any further than that. I hope he hears me.
He hits and missed it again. It bounces. Ron Lee picks it off to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, at the 40, to the 45, up to the 47-yard line goes Ron Lee. Once he made up his mind there wasn't anywhere to duck and dodge, Lee put his head down and just carried it to people. Donnie Shell was among those to take him down at the Baltimore 47, first down.
Outstanding kicking duel.
Girella limping off. Didn't hurt him with a 45-yard field goal.
I think it hurt his pride.
Roger Carr, wide left, wide to the right. Glenn Dowdy, Roosevelt League's front man in the eye. The second man, Lydell Mitchell. Jones and the Colts are down and set. Waiting for the takeaway, the give to Lydell. The second man, he stumbled and then cut into a hole, cuts across the 50 down to the Steeler 47-yard line. Goes Lydell Mitchell before he is taken down by Mean Joe Green, and also assisting big number 78, Dwight White.
Now, they ran that play to the weak side, Donnie. Why was that effective, whereas running to the strong side hasn't
I don't know, but I'll tell you, the blocking at the point of attack, Vince, was there. And I figured maybe they can do something. As I said before, if we're going to do anything, Mitchell's got to have a good day. He picked up 6 yards then.
Dowdy wide left, wide right Carr. I formation this time. Leaks the front man. Lydell the second man. 2nd and 4 at the Steeler 47. Jones fake gives to Lydell. Off the right side. Hit at the 45 and pulled down. And the guy on the top of the pile was Jack Ham, but I don't think he got the tackle credit. And on the bottom of the pile, you got 2 or 3 of the Steelers rolling up out of there. Number 63 in on the tackle, Ernie Holmes. Gain of 2, 3rd down and about 2. Vince, that's a little bit different than the 3rd and 5 and 6 and so on.
Let's see if Jones doesn't come off play action and throw that wrong one. Who's in there?
Lydell is
Dowdy.
out. McCauley is in along with Roosevelt Leaks. Dowdy a wing on the right side. Double tight ends. 3rd down and 2 at the Steeler 45. Waiting for the snap to Bert Jones. Still waiting. Turns. Gives to McCauley. McCauley dives over the right side, and I don't know whether he's made it or not. It's a little bit too close to say. He may have come up a little short. We'll know when they untangle it more correctly and accurately when the official spots the football. Might be a little short.
All right, now what do you do here? Do you punt the ball and try to put them in a hole? They've scored every time they had it. You got a half a yard to go on 4th.
Hey, I'll tell you what, David Lee has been great getting the ball down there on the inside the 10-yard line, right?
Right.
Well, why not do the same thing? And I think Chuck Noll, what's his name? Marchibroda is smart doing this.
It's 4th down and less than a yard. Downfield, Theo Bell, who came back 60 yards with a kickoff a moment ago, is waiting for the David Lee punt. Theo is all around the 10-yard line of the Steelers. Let's see whether David Lee intends to hang it up, whether he'll kick it to Bell, whether he'll kick it out of bounds. We'll know after Stan White, who quarterbacks on the snap. And they've got a 10-man rush, have the Steelers. They are going to pressure, hopeful of blocking. Forrest Blue takes a last look, still has a snap, now snap. Snap is perfect. No pressure, they got a return. And David Lee angles toward the near sideline. Coming over Theo Bell is going to go out of bounds inside the 10. At the 9-yard line, David Lee has kicked it out of bounds.
Oh, we got a fight going on down here. Number 58 and 33. Go at him.
Well, that's Jack Lambert and Randy Hall.
Well, you'd trade those two, wouldn't you?
I got news for you.
Yeah, but if you're a Steeler, you don't fight in front of the Colts bench. You're crazy.
You do if you're Jack Lambert. You fight anywhere. And I got news for you. He'd give a good accounting of himself, no matter whose bench he was fighting in front of. He is just I think truly one of the very best, most aggressive, strong, physical, domineering middle linebackers I've ever seen.
I think Gracie could have taken him on.
Maybe. I'll tell you, there's a little feeling and a little emotion in this contest, with 10:57 remaining in the first half, and the Steelers leading by a count of 16-7.
Something against Pittsburgh.
At the 9-yard line, who cares? That is to say, at their 9-yard line, who cares?
No, we won't take the penalty.
Here it is, Darty.
Number 87, offense in motion.
Well, the tight end, number 87, was in motion. That's Larry Brown. And the Colts have, as already suggested, declined the penalty. It's 2nd and 9 Steelers at their 10. Lewis and number 82, John Stallworth, shuttled in and out with plays. And now Lewis is in there going wide left. And Lynn Swan is wide to the right. Fuqua and Franco Harris running backs behind the quarterback, Bradshaw. Down and set. Take away. Bradshaw wants to throw in 2nd and 9. No pressure. Going for broke. Here comes a bomb. Franklin Lewis is there. And he tried to make the catch and just couldn't handle it. This time, right alongside him, it looked like it was number 20 or 25, Ray Oldham, went up in the air. The ball slightly underthrown.
Well, let me tell you something. This guy's got a lot of pride in his offensive line, because he's got all the time in the world to throw that ball, and sooner or later, he's going to come up with 6 more if they don't deck him a couple of times.
Well, the coverage a lot better that time, but as Chuck said, though, Dunny, the ball wasn't thrown quite far enough. I think Oldham had pretty good coverage behind him, though. Oldham might have gotten the ball had he thrown it far. I thought Lewis made an heck of an effort to get his hands on it.
Let's see if we don't blitz this time.
All right, Stallworth wide to the left side, Swan wide to the right. A split backfield, nobody behind quarterback Bradshaw, Fuqua, and Franco Harris. Down and set. Takeaway. Bradshaw wants to throw a shallow drop to the goal line. Fires down the middle. Caught by Swan. And Swan is tackled at the 20-yard line for what appears to be a Steeler first down. Chayunsky made the tackle, but Swan made a beautiful leaping grab for a first down at the 20.
and extended the ball to get the first down. That was a great play by Swan. Not only the catch, but
His ball was right on the money, too.
his presence to
He drilled it in there.
Yep.
And he takes a shot.
It is first down, Pittsburgh at the 20-yard line. The Steelers have scored every time they've handled the football in the first half of the ball game today. Wide to the right, Swan. Wide to the left is Lewis this time. Fuqua and Franco Harris are the running backs. They're down and set. Take away the give to Franco Harris. Stutters through a little bit of a hole and got tripped up coming through there. The Colt defensive front four just shut off the play. Down on the bottom of the pile, Freddie Cook. And you can look for Joe Ehrman. He'll have to be down there somewhere. You really don't see a lot of the activity of Ehrman, but he is normally right in the middle of anything that comes along that line.
Well, if Luce had made the tackle, it would have been a 2-yard loss. He's the guy that forced the play, and he forced Franco Harris to cut back into where the flow was coming over. So, you need help out there, and he got it.
It is a team game. Second down, 9. Steelers at their own 21-yard lines. Swan wide right, Stallworth wide left. Again, it's Fuqua and Harris. Rocky Bleier out with a foot injury. We don't know whether he'll be able to return or not. It's Franco Harris. The carry bounces out around the left end into the daylight up to the 25 and caught from behind, crossing the 25-yard line by Jim Chiunsky again, the active middle linebacker of the Baltimore Colts. But that Harris is really something to behold. Dutton was also around the ball. He fakes inside and then bounces outside in the manner of a scat back.
Harris has got more angles in the geometry book the way he moves.
Well, the gain is good for 4 yards. It's 3rd and 5, Steelers at their own 25. That's not a bad line by the Hall of Famer down the line there, Vince.
I practiced all week on that.
I like that.
More angles in the geometry book. All right. 3rd down, 5, Steelers to the 25-yard line. Lewis wide left, Swan the other way. Back to throw goes Bradshaw. No pressure. Has time. Drills it to Franco Harris out in the flat. Franco one-on-one with Stan White. Down he goes at the 30-yard line. He may have a first down again.
That's just pure second effort, too, believe me.
Stan did a good job, making sure he made the tackle, but Harris had the momentum to get the first down.
We got to start doing something on defense, believe me. We got to start blitzing. We got to change our defenses around a little bit, because you give this guy this kind of time to throw the ball, he's going to eat you up.
I'll tell you what, it's either put some pressure on him or go get him a rocking chair. It is Steeler ball, first down at the Steeler 30. And they lead it 16-7, and the Colts front four really have not been close to putting pressure on Bradshaw yet. It is Stallworth wide left side. Here's an inside handoff to Frank Fuqua. Off the right side, he goes pulled down by the linebacker moving in quickly, Jim Chiunsky.
Yeah, really doing a pretty good job against the rush.
They are that.
Dunny, they really are. But as Dunny keeps saying, we got to get to the passer. And this may be a passing down, second and about a long 7.
Frank Lewis comes in. Stallworth goes out. Lewis and Stallworth shuttle plays in for quarterback Bradshaw, and I think this was a request on the part of Terry. He just went to the coach Noll. They had a little bit of a meeting, and he said, "Look, Coach, I think we can do a better job if you do it that way." And the Steelers have, been happy to oblige.
And this defense were vulnerable.
Here's a rollback by Bradshaw. Sets up the fire. Sideliner coming. It is caught and down at about the 47-yard line. Right in front of the Colt bench, it's Lynn Swan on the receiving end. Covering him was Lloyd Mumford. First down, Pittsburgh at their own 47. And for WSBA in York and all of our network stations, we'll pause now for station identification. This is the Metro Media Baltimore Colts Football Network.
For the best collegiate coverage, follow the University of Maryland Terrapins on 68 WCBM, Metro Media for Baltimore.
At the 47. Stallworth wide left, Swan wide right. Here's the turn, give off to Fuqua. Fuqua comes into Harris, comes into the middle, breaks into the clear at the 40. Harris is in a foot race trying to beat Ray Oldham. Oldham slows him up and then came back with a second effort. Oldham stops him inside the 5. 47-yard burst off by Franco Harris, and Oldham slowed him up. He tried to put a move on Oldham, and that gave Ray a chance to make a second move on Harris, and he took him down.
That was just a quick trap up the middle. Actually, nobody even got a hand on Harris coming through the line. And this goes to show you, during the week these guys are saying what they were going to do and all that. Well, they haven't done anything yet. Now, last play that Bradshaw caught through, the closest guy all day to him was Dutton, and you get about 3 yards away from him. So they got to start to buckle down and start playing football.
From the Steeler 9, they have now come to the Baltimore Colt 4. First and goal. Bradshaw gives off to a back Cunningham, and he is going to be hit at about the 3-yard line for no gain. The ball carry again, Reggie Harrison, number 46, who scored one of the Steeler touchdowns this afternoon, is stopped at about the 4-yard line. Second and goal.
Vince, I think some of the fans down there with their radios on and their TVs down
better make some
ought to
noise.
start making noise.
That's right.
Well, they better start doing something.
Well, you know, it's straight. This is a rather conservative kind of a team, Pittsburgh. Nothing fancy at all, but boy, they just bring it
Now
to you.
Harrison and Puco are the setbacks, and they got Stallworth as a wing to the left side. Second down and goal from the Colt 3. The give goes to Harrison off the left side. He may have fumbled the football. There's a big pile up for it at the 2.
We got it.
Baltimore's got the ball.
Dan White.
There's a break in the action with the score. The Steelers 16, the Colts 7. Let's pause now for this message.
You want to start reading, Paul?
Hi, I'm no radio announcer. I'm Paul McNabb, a donut baker, and the lottery's first millionaire. And I still play the lottery, especially the new weekly Super 50-cent game that has 2 chances to win the $1 million prize. That's one more chance than I had when 50 cents made me a millionaire. This is Paul McNabb who really knows. You've got to play to win. How'd I do?
You want to trade jobs?
During this busy holiday season, we at Household Finance would like to suggest that you take a few minutes to remember something. That this is a season of giving, of sharing, of making others happy. We wish you all the best of this season. And please remember that we're here to help your family with its wants, its needs, its dreams all year round. Household Finance, an equal opportunity lender.
Well, a little while ago, as a matter of fact, the last time the Steelers had the ball inside the Colt 5, Vince was talking about the fact that the Colt defensive unit had continually turned up with a big play this year, and they needed to make it that time. Well, that time they didn't make it. This time they did make the big play. Harrison fumbled. Stan White recovered. Baltimore has the ball at their own 2, and the Steelers had gone 89 yards in 10 plays, only to fumble to the Colts.
Some of the Steeler coaches in a state of shock over on the other side of the
I
field.
don't think Harrison ever had control of it. It looked like he was juggling as he took the handoff, and then, of course, when it's loose like that, they punched at it, and White got it.
Well, Baltimore ball first down at the Baltimore 2-yard line. And they come out into a standard pro set, shoulder to shoulder. Roosevelt Leaks and Lydell Mitchell. Carr wide left, down to the other way. Jones looks over the Steeler defense. They fake a blitz. The turn. The give goes to the second. Mitchell breaks through. Up over the 10 to the 11-yard line goes Lydell. And Mr. Russell, Andy by name, made the tackle.
What they did is they blew Mean Joe Green right out of there. They ran right at him, got a good block on him, and Mitchell picks up the first down. Or almost the first down.
It is second down and about a yard for Baltimore at their own 11, but a little breathing room now. Second down, about a yard. Jones whips them out of the huddle. Again, this time Dowdy and Carr go wide to the right side of the set. Tight end on the left end of the line for Baltimore. Waiting for the snap to Jones. Turns, gives to Lydell. Lydell spins through a little bit of a hole and gets chopped off his pins after picking up the first down around the 14, 13-yard line. It looks as though he's got enough for a first down. It is so indicated. Isn't that fancy, huh?
Now, Sonny, listen, they took a longer time in the huddle than they seemed to, and that play right there, and that's call it 25 hunch they always run, just off the right side. Now, why would they have taken longer?
He was saying to Mitchell, hold on to that ball. I guess because, it's dangerous down there.
And also, give me time to get out of the way. Carr wide left, Dowdy wide to the right. Standard pro set, shoulder to shoulder in the backfield, Leaks and Lydell Mitchell. Waiting for the snap to Jones. He fakes, rolls back to throw, back inside the 5, takes his time, throws the bomb to Dowdy. It's over his head at the Colt 45-yard line. Incomplete pass, just a little too strong, intended for Dowdy. Second and 10, Baltimore at their 13.
In the drive that took them down the field for the score, I'm talking about the Colts, it was a lot of poise in that drive as they drove most of the length of the field. But they threw to a lot of different people. Dowdy they hadn't thrown to. But I think maybe this will keep us in it. The variety of receivers. Sonny, you agree with that?
Yeah, and this also, Jones had time to throw the ball then. Yeah. It was good offensive pass protection. And actually, Dowdy, he had made a move, and Jones had gotten the ball, and they have another first down.
This time, Jones has a split backfield. Nobody directly behind the quarterback. Dowdy right side, Carr left side. The takeaway, the give goes to Lydell. Hit in his own backfield. He really got belted in his own backfield and taken down at the line of scrimmage. And the man who ripped in there might have been Mean Joe Green.
It was. He made a heck of a play on that.
He really did. Looks like he took Pratt and a few other people right with him as he went in. Now Don McCauley is coming into the Baltimore Colt backfield. Roosevelt Leaks has come out. 3rd down, 10, Baltimore at their 13. Baltimore and the Steelers to determine which team has the right to play for the championship of the American Football Conference. And I'll tell you something, there are 2 awfully good football teams going at it this afternoon. Carr, wide right, wide left, Dowdy. They're in a double wing, actually. The only man behind the quarterback is Don McCauley. Jones looks over the Steeler defense. They're a down 4. The takeaway by Jones. He fakes. Whistles are blowing down there, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. It probably took too much time against Baltimore. That's exactly right.
30-second clock ran out.
You got to keep your eye on that clock all the time, huh, Vince?
Yeah, baby. Now we have 15 yards to go on 3rd, and it's even tougher.
Wonder how long it'll be before they have a gong that sounds when that clock runs out. You know, boing.
Hey, can you imagine having a helmet on and hearing that gong?
Oh,
You're thinking the Battle of the Bulls.
The referee walked the ball back inside the 5. It's a 5-yard walk-off from the 13 to the 8.
Well, they know they're on television. You see, they got to put a good show on.
Pat Haggerty, a very good official, is laughing at himself.
A very good last name. I don't know about
I didn't hear what he said. I'm sorry.
Delay of game, I presume.
Oh.
From the 8-yard line.
From the 8-yard line, it is 3rd down and 15.
Let's see if we don't quick kick.
McCauley and Lydell are the running backs behind the quarterback Jones. Wide right, Carr. Wide left, Dowdy. And Chester split a little bit on the left end of the line. 3rd and 15. Jones rolls to his left, wants to throw. Has a little time. Ducks for a pressure. And then gets nailed back at the 2-yard line. All over him, big number 78. Dwight White. Russell was also there. And Mean Joe Green set the table, and they finished it off.
Jonesy's saying right now, for God's sake, somebody hit him. Do something.
Now we got a real problem. Lee's going to have to punt with his foot on the end line, and they'll put 10 men up, I guess.
I would think so. The ball is spotted back at the 2-yard line, and David Lee is punting it about the goal line. The snap, here comes David Lee's punt. He hits a high, booming spiral. Coming back on it is Lynn Swan at the Colt 45. Laterally along it, makes a cut over the 40, and down is a hit. The penalty flag goes down, and another penalty flag goes down.
We'll get 30 yards
the
on
35 of the 40-yard line, and number 56 of the Baltimore Colts, Ed Simonini, is madder than a wet hen, whatever that is. But he was really upset, and apparently the reason he was so upset was because of some of the penalty flags. Personal foul clipping against the Steelers.
Hey, Vince, the two clippers, do we get 30 yards?
No, you don't get 30. You get your choice.
Oh, okay.
And we'll take the one from back here around the 39 or 45-yard line and put Pittsburgh back in its own territory.
If you get... Well, there's a timeout with the score of the Steelers 16, the Colts 7.
When you shop for a 1977 full-size car, you may get a full-size shock. Because some car makers are cutting down their full-size cars, making them narrower, shorter, lighter. They'll offer only the cut-down size. But Ford has a better idea. Choice. A full-size Ford LTD that kept its size, and the all-new trim-size LTD2. The quiet-riding full-size LTD offers what its major competition doesn't. More trunk space, more hip and shoulder room, and a longer wheelbase. If you prefer a trimmer size, choose the new LTD2, with LTD's kind of quality and comfort in a... for a sportier car at a trimmer price. Some car makers will offer only cut-down sizes in 77, but Ford offers a choice. Full-size Ford LTD, trim-size LTD2. Test drive one today.
When American meets a better idea, Ford puts it
See your local Ford dealer, the Better Idea guys.
From the Steeler 46, Bradshaw has thrown a pass incomplete, and a penalty flag dropped in the play. Personal foul against the Baltimore Colts.
Can you imagine it?
Lloyd Mumford may have been the offender. We'll know when Pat Haggerty informs us after he walks off the real estate. Then we'll find out who the guilty party is.
It was Mumford, number 42. I'm almost sure.
Well, it wasn't against the guy hitting a passer because nobody's done that today yet.
No. He could have ate a sandwich then.
Here's the announcement right now. Tune in.
Personal foul. Defense. First down.
Personal foul defense. First down.
Who was it, Haggerty?
And Ted Marchibroda a little upset with the officiating at the moment, as the Steelers have a first down now at the Baltimore Colts 39-yard line. And it is Franco Harris and Fuqua. Fuqua the ball carrier off the right side. They snow in there and stop him around the 36-yard line with guys like Shayansky up on the top of the pile. And down on the bottom of the pile, the last guy getting up appears to be Fred Cook. And the gain is from the 39 to the 36, 2nd and 7.
He'll come right back with that long pass now, Vince.
Boy, what time he's had.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
The last one, he could have ate a hero sandwich, not just a plain sandwich.
2nd and 7 for the Steelers. The ball at the Colt 36. And there's a timeout being whistled for down on the field.
2 minutes.
And we've come to the 2-minute warning. That's exactly what happens here in Baltimore. There's the 2-minute warning back in 60 seconds.
One of these days, you're going to try a Colt 45, and you'll be sorry for all the times you did. Sooner or later, you're gonna drink a Colt 45, and you'll be sorry for all the times you wasted. Sooner or later, you're gonna want to change your face. Colt 45 is waiting. Colt has been waiting about 1,000 years ago. Aren't you sorry for all the times you wasted?
Colt 45 malt liquor. A completely unique experience.
Colt 45 malt liquor, product of Carling National Breweries Incorporated, Baltimore, Maryland.
Well, into the final 2 minutes of the first half, the Steelers leading by a count of 16-7. The Baltimore Colts have just not been able to dominate this steel curtain Steeler defense. They have been awesome at times. And offensively, the Steelers front line, their offensive unit has been doing a simply magnificent job against the defensive unit of the Baltimore Colts. Bradshaw has he's not even got the uniform dirty yet. With a 2nd and 7 at the Baltimore 36. Gives to Fuqua. Sweeps to the left side. Rips down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line goes Frenchie. He's very close to another Steeler first down, and we'll wait for the indication from the official. And they put that football down. It's right about at the 29-yard line. And it's so close that I believe the officials now take time to measure. Shayansky made the tackle. We'll see whether or not the sweep of the left side by Fuqua has picked up another Steeler first down.
Vince Fuqua showing off in front of his Morgan State alumni.
I was going to say,
That's
he's
what's
been in the league 8 years. You used to hear a lot about him when he was a young player, but they haven't mentioned Morgan a whole lot lately. In relation to, he made the first down.
Is he the guy that wears the shoes with fish in his heels?
That's the guy.
Huh?
Right. Yeah, he's one of the flashier dresses in the
fight
league.
him, you know where.
I'll tell you, he's a heck of a guy, is Frenchie. He's really a dude. I've been with him a couple of times, and a fun-loving guy and a pretty good football player is Frenchie. First down, Steelers at the Baltimore 29. Lynn Swan wide to the right side, and now it's Stallworth wide to the left. Fuqua and Harris, the running backs, are down and set. Takeaway, the give goes to Harris. Harris is hit by Fred Cook in his own backfield and stopped right at the 30-yard line.
I think somebody forgot who they were blocking on that, Sonny. We just...
In fact, Cook was in there so fast, he almost took the handoff.
Yeah, I was going to say, the ball was a little loose. I wish somebody had noticed it in there.
Well, you talk about how a good job Fuqua was doing, and he is, but how about Mr. Harris on the board with 14 carries and 93 yards in this, the first half. Lydell Mitchell has carried it 11 times for 35 yards. Lewis wide left, wide right, Swan. A standard pro set backfield. 2nd and 11 Steelers. Bradshaw back to throw again. Sets up, has time, lobs it all alone to Swan for the touchdown. When Swan put a move on Mumford, Mumford fell down, and Swan went in without anybody near it. Touchdown Steelers, who are just running over the Colts in the first half.
Chuck, you can say anything you want. It's sort of embarrassing for Mumford to have to cover a guy like that. But hell, when you don't get it, the guy doesn't have to throw the ball real quick. He doesn't get any pressure at all put on him. Hey, a lot of defensive backs are going to get embarrassed.
Well, it is now up to 22. And we'll see if Girella can add the 23rd point. We're inside the 2-minute mark. And Bradshaw has just had absolutely letter-perfect protection from his offensive line. The sack pack of the Colts haven't been able to do anything. Not a thing have they been able to do insofar as putting even a little bit of pressure on Bradshaw.
Sonny, why would you figure they wouldn't have blitzed up to this point? You figure they'd pick up the blitzers and burn you even worse?
Maybe, but I can't understand why they're doing this. They have a four-man rush. They're not getting any pressure from anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe Dutton a little bit, Vince, you see.
But he's coming from the blind side, and Bradshaw doesn't see that to even bother him.
Right, absolutely right. And, of course, you got to do something.
Well, they walked off a penalty against the Steelers, and now the point after touchdown kick from the 15 is in the air. It looks pretty good. No penalty flags are down, and the score is on the board. With about 53 seconds here on the first half remaining, the Steelers are handing it to the Colts 23-7. Timeout with the score, Pittsburgh 23, Baltimore 7.
Equitable Trust Bank, Equitable Trust Bank, where good ideas just keep on happening.
There's more than one way to use a Bank AmeriCard. Equitable wants you to understand how versatile it is. For instance, there are Bank AmeriCard companion checks. They look like personal checks. You can use them anywhere personal checks are taken, even at places that don't accept credit cards. And companion checks are one of the most private and convenient ways for you to borrow money. Only you and the bank know about it. You can make better banking choices when you understand your options. And we understand that at Equitable.
We've introduced so many good ideas here at Equitable Trust Bank. Equitable Trust Bank, where good ideas just keep on happening.
Member FDIC.
Well, Roy Girella, who is supposed to kick off for the Steelers, apparently is bothered by that groin injury that we mentioned a little earlier, and it looks as though he'll not kick off. Mansfield is out there to kick off. Ray Mansfield, offensive center, a 12-year veteran from Washington.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
Girella can hit those chip shots. If that 45-yarder was a chip shot, the field goal he made, but they talked about, he was the one fellow who they were concerned about physically, and he can't kick off deep. His kickoffs haven't been good at all, and now Mansfield and Howard Stevens is playing him up at the 14-yard line, figuring that he won't be too sharp in his first shot at it.
Look, 56 is going to kick it off, not Mansfield.
Well, yeah, that's Mansfield.
That's Mansfield.
56?
Yes, sir. Mansfield is lined up behind the football, all ready to go, and he's a straightaway orthodox type of a kicker. He missed it, shanked it.
Better get
rolling along the. Ron Lee takes it out of bounds at about the 34-yard line of the Baltimore Colts.
We're getting outstanding field position, but we're not doing anything.
The Steelers took only a minute and 45 seconds to go 59 yards on 4 plays. They have scored 4 of the 5 times they've handled the football today. The Steelers have scored either by touchdown or field goal.
And the 5th time, they dropped the ball on the 1-foot line.
That's exactly right. All ready to go at the 35-yard line. Colts are in possession, and they have just been manhandled by the Steelers. The Steelers, right to this moment in the football game, have been too much football team for the Colts to handle. The Steelers have been just that good. Back to throw Jones. Drills it down the middle. Over the head. Intercepted by number 27, Glenn Edwards of the Steelers. Down to the Colts 35 and out of bounds goes Edwards.
They got enough time to get another one. 43 seconds. That's plenty of time for them. This ball overthrown Dowdy right into the hands of Glenn Edwards.
What do they say, Vince? When you're good, you're real good. And when you're bad, you're really bad.
Well, I'll tell you, there isn't any doubt. You wonder when you look at this first half of the football game, Arthur, you wonder how the Colts got into the playoff game.
Well, I don't know, but they're just, it hasn't been their day. Of course, I don't think they've played good in the last 4 out of 5 games. That's my own opinion. And now they're playing against a real good football team, and they're maybe not that good.
That's the point I was trying to make. The Steelers are just that good that they make anybody look bad. Back to throw goes Bradshaw. He sets up. Penalty flag is dropped. A little bit of pressure thrown to Lynn Swan in the clear at the 30. Swan to the 25, outside to the 20, and out of bounds at about the 19 goes Swan.
That's going to be our best defense. It's a flag.
Oh, the penalty flag is going against Pittsburgh. Holding.
It has been, really. We said that facetiously early in the game, but the only time we've been able to stop them is, or move ourselves, is because of penalty.
Hey, Vince, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right?
Oh, I'll tell you, I wish we get lucky and pick one off and get within,
usually
8-9.
the only way you get a chance to pick one off. Here's Haggerty.
Holding, number 50, offense. First down.
Jim Clack guilty of holding, I believe he said.
He said the only way you get lucky is by putting pressure on the Panthers.
They'll tar and feather him tonight back there, getting caught holding.
So now it's the Steeler ball at the Baltimore Colts 44-yard line on that holding penalty. First down and 20. Bradshaw in under center. The time remaining about 38 seconds. Taken away by Bradshaw. Deep drop, wants to throw. And he runs up into the pocket and into the arms of Joe Ehrman, who made the tackle, and Bradshaw comes up calling for time. They made the tackle back around the Steeler 48-yard line, and Bradshaw calls time to save 28 seconds that's on the clock. And the only way Freddie Cook had some outside pressure, Bradshaw ran up and ran right into Joe Ehrman.
So that's the only time Bradshaw's been forced out of the pocket at all, and I think it was his own decision. He didn't like the receivers' positions downfield. He ran up to take another look, and then they got him.
And that's the first time he has seen how dusty the field can be.
And he was singing, Mama, don't allow no music played. He sings for commercials, don't he?
Oh, yeah.
Well, in the first half of the football game, it's just been, completely the Steelers. The Baltimore Colts mounted one drive, but the Steelers, every time but one that they have handled the football in the first half, have gone in to score, and Baltimore has been powerless to prevent it. They have just not been able to, in the first half of the game, do anything about stopping the Steelers. And 23 points on the board for Pittsburgh means that the second half of the football game is going to be some kind of an uphill battle for the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah, coming back against the best defense in the league, playing catch-up. Boy, that's a real tough road.
Hey, Vince, they told me that this guy Bradshaw recorded a song, I'm So Lonely I Could Die. Well, he's been pretty lonely out there today.
No blue shirts around him for sure, Donovan.
I hate those singers.
Second down and 28 for the Steelers at their own 48. And they've got Lewis and Swan set wide to the right and Stallworth wide to left. Bradshaw on the handoff to Franco Harris on the draw. Harris is in the open down to the 40-yard line in the clear. And Darrell Luce tries to get to him, and Luce makes the tackle and rolls him out of bounds at the 22-yard line with 17 seconds on the clock. Just seems the Steelers are able to do it any way they want to. They can run at you or throw at you and be effective.
Vince, that was a great call now.
Wasn't that a super call?
That was. Oh. I think Chuck Noll had to call that one. That was just a fantastic call. Who figures he's going to draw a play?
Well, he had another timeout left. Well, I don't know why they got out of bounds to stop the clock, but still they've taken a timeout, a charged timeout. Why would they do that?
No, the ball man not gone out of bounds, Vince.
Well, they've only got about 17 seconds remaining on the clock, and they still have another timeout that belongs to them. One more timeout left.
I mean, I'll tell you, they score now. The Colts are totally demoralized and have had it.
We better have Bracy, Donovan, and fans at halftime.
Well, there used to be a time when you could say you win some, you lose some, and some are rained out, but this is a different game.
I got an expression for that, but I can't say it on the air. That's
It starts with that's Well, at the 22-yard line, the Steelers are in possession. Baltimore just has not been able to get going. They have not been able to defensively do the things that they hoped that they would be able to do, nor have they been able to really do the things offensively. The Steelers have just dominated the game. Bradshaw back to throw, sets up, looks for some help, fires out of the flat to Harris. Harris to the 15-yard line, on his feet at the 10, and inside the 10 to the 8-yard line goes Franco Harris. Mumford made the finishing tackle, and the clock rolls down to 7 seconds, and the Steelers stop it once again.
Well, at least kick a field goal if they don't want to go for it here now.
No, they could actually get another pass off before they run out of time.
Right. And then kick a field goal. They're coming in, though, with Girella, so he doesn't throw it.
Let's hope he kicks the ground. Stubs his toe.
Down to the 7-yard line, and it is first and goal for the Steelers at that spot, and Girella will try to add another point to run it up to 26.
Vince, go down and put that jinx on him.
Oh, man. We need...
Holder will be Bobby Walden, the punter, and Girella will kick it from about the 15, meaning it's a 25-yard field goal. And Memorial Stadium jam-packed against the Steelers this afternoon. It's a very, very quiet place as we approach halftime.
They better start hollering in that end zone there. Do something.
Well, I think they're as awed and maybe shocked as the Colt football team. The kick is in the air, on the way. Looks okay. Is it all right? Yes, sir. It's fine. And Girella has kicked a 25-yard field goal to add 3 more. And now it's the Steelers 26 and the Baltimore Colts 7. as we go to the final of 4 seconds of play here in the first half. And in Memorial Stadium, a very quiet place, and well, it might be. The Colts are, well, not necessarily shocked, but they certainly look as though they've been stunned, to say the least. They have mounted one drive that has enabled them to score, and that took a very good catch on the part of Roger Carr. Other than that, the defensive unit of the Steelers have shut the Colts down cold, and the offensive unit of the Steelers have been able to do what they wanted to.
Hey, Vince, one shot. We got 7 seconds left. How much time we got left?
4.
All right. This guy kicks an onside kick, all right?
Yeah.
We touch it.
No, he won't.
Call a timeout, and Burns saw one piss.
Well, this is Mansfield. He's practicing on just hitting the ball. He's not going to be fancy.
Well, he missed it again. Ron Lee knocks it down and falls on the 36-yard line. And that'll be it for the half. That should wipe it out. Unless somebody was able to call time to save as much of the clock as there is, which might be 1 second, and apparently they did. There's 1 second on the board, so the Colts will have a chance for one play from their own 36.
Oh, here goes the long pitch.
Well, I'll tell you, we came in here figuring we had a good shot, and they are handling us twice as effectively as last year.
Yeah, so far, Vince, you're right.
Right.
Well, that's, there are 2 halves to every football game, and sometimes even a little bit more. One of the points that, well, let's watch the final play of the first half. Jones is going to put it up, and imagine maybe Carr might be the fellow, unless it's Chester who is split way out here to the left. Jones drops back, everybody deep, and Jones just puts it up for grabs. Roger Carr takes a look at it, and he couldn't make the catch inside the 10-yard line of the Steelers, and the first half is over. Glenn Edwards broke up the play.
Close.
And that is the end of the first half, with the Steelers leading 26-7. We'll have more in 1 minute. You've got a heck of an afternoon's work cut out for you.
Chuck, at halftime they told me that Jarella doesn't have a bad leg. There's another part of his anatomy that is hurting.
The groin, yes.
Yeah.
He's got a groaning groin right now, and it really is giving him some problems, and that's the reason Mansfield has been there kicking off. Jarella will try the second half kickoff, however. Stevens is waiting inside the 10-yard line, between the 10 and the 5. Jarella hits it. He's got this pretty good. Howard Stevens takes the 10, bobble the ball, recovers to the 20. Outside, 25-30, up to the 35, and ducks straight ahead to about the 38-yard line. Howard Stevens returns to about the 38. Donnie Shell stopped him, and the offensive unit of the Colts take the field with the Steelers leading by a score of 26-7. Here comes the second half.
That's a pretty good return. Nothing up the middle, and he didn't try to knock over anybody, and he got it outside, got 10 yards more than he might have figured.
Well, the same offensive unit is on field for the Baltimore Colts. Dowdy is wide right, Carr wide left. Lydell Mitchell and Roosevelt leaks to the running backs. Jones looking at the Steeler defense, gives to Lydell to the right side. He ducks into a little bit of a hole and manages to punch out 2 quick yards to about the 40-yard line before he is taken down by Jack Ham. They spot the ball just about at the 40-yard line, where it is second down and 8, Baltimore at that spot. Defensively, you've got L.C. Greenwood, Dwight White, Holmes, and Mean Joe Green there, that front 4. And they've got Ham and Lambert and Russell as linebackers on the corners. Hold on a minute as the Colts come into a split backfield, second and 8 at the 40. Dowdy wide right, Carr wide left. Jones wants to throw a deep drop back to his 30. Drills his pass, incomplete. It sailed away from Lydell Mitchell. It'll be third down and 8, Baltimore at the 40-yard line. And that Steeler defensive unit that we're talking about on the corners, on the one corner, you've got J.T. Thomas. On the other corner, you've got Mel Blount, and the safety men are Mike Wagner and Glenn Edwards.
Jones was 5 for 10 first half, had 2 intercepted. Now he faces a certain passing situation, third and 8 at the 40.
And they drop Lambert out as the middle linebacker, and they add a new defensive back by the name of Jimmy Allen. So they've got 5 defensive backs on a third down and 8 at the 40. Jones looks over the defensive alignment, yanks it away, no fake, wants to throw. Jones is lobbing it upfield, and it's going to be overthrown, intended for Don McCauley. Covering McCauley was a very good linebacker named Jack Ham. And the Colts' first offensive thrust in the second half dies very quickly, and the Steelers force the punt.
So you see the advantage, the ability of a linebacker to cover the back coming out of the backfield. McCauley runs good patterns, does a good job on third downs. Ham was with him all the way, and Bert had to overthrow him.
Punting situation, and downfield Lynn Swan is going to return the punt. He's standing at about the Steeler 30. Now he backpedals a little bit. David Lee will kick it from about the Baltimore Colt 32. Stand wide looking over the defensive alignment of the Steelers as their punt return team is on. They've got an 8-man rush, have the Steelers. We wait for Forrest Blue's snap. The snap is good. Here comes the punt. He almost had it blocked. A good punt by David Lee. Swan takes it at the Steeler 23. Goes outside to the far sideline up to the 30 and rolled out of bounds over on the far side of the field. It looked like it might have been Dan Dickel who ran him out at about the 30-yard line, somewhere in that vicinity. Steelers go to work for the first time in the second half. The fellow who almost blocked the punt for the Steelers was Jim Allen, defensive back, but David Lee still got it away. It's first down for the Steelers, the ball resting at their own 30. And Bradshaw brings him out on the football. Lewis coming out wide to the right side. That means Swan is the other way. They got Frenchie Fuqua and Franco Harris as running backs. Waiting for the takeaway by Bradshaw. Gives it to Franco Harris. He's off the right side. Bursts through up over the 35 to the 36-yard line. And I think, Arthur Donovan, that may set the trend of things for the Steelers in the second half.
Actually, what that was, Chuck, that was just a delayed buck. And Harris fakes going to his left and comes back, gets the handoff, and goes right up to his right. And they're just blocking in there. They got the hole opens up, and he's just running up there.
Well, they got about a second down and maybe 3, a little bit longer than 3 for the Steelers, near the Steeler 37. This time Stallworth is wide left, wide right is Lynn Swan, split in the backfield, nobody behind the quarterback Bradshaw. Waiting for the snap to the quarterback, pitches it out to Franco Harris, sweeps the right side and got through 2 tacklers, and then it's going to be rolled down around the Steeler 43 or 4-yard line. John Dutton finally caught up to him. Yeah, I'll tell you about Mr. Harris. You don't give him any moves to make him fall down. You better pop him.
And Bruce Ladd is the guy that really misses him first there. He comes up, he's in good he can block. There's a miss by Mumford.
Well, Mumford on Harris, I mean, that's like me trying to knock you down, Donovan.
I think you could do it, Vince.
Oh, give me blind side and a plank.
It is a first down, Steelers at the Steeler 43. Again, they split the backfield, do the Steelers with Fuqua and Harris. The turn, the gift to Fuqua, sweep on the left side. He gets a block, piles over the 45 to the 47-yard line. Maybe beyond that before he is finally hit and taken down by Jim Chayunsky, who has made his fair share of tackles this afternoon. They're spotting the football at the Steeler 46-yard line. A gain of some 3, second down and 7. Steelers lead it by a score of 26-7. They have just blown the Colts right out of the ballpark in the first half. And this time they send Stallworth and Lynn Swan wide to the right side of the set. Swan is split, and a slot to the right is Stallworth. Second down, 7. Back to throw. Bradshaw sets up, fires his pass. Caught and taken down at the Baltimore 45-yard line is Stallworth. Mumford made the tackle. And it is a first down for the Steelers at the Baltimore 45.
He thread the needle there, man. He threw it in Vince among a lot of people there.
First down, Steelers. The drive started for them on their own 31-yard line. Is now at the Baltimore Colt 45-yard line. Against Swan wide to the right side. This time Frank Lewis is wide to the left. Again, it's Fuqua and Franco Harris as running backs. Waiting for the takeaway. Here's a fake handoff by Bradshaw. Rolls to set up, firing the bomb. He just puts it up for grabs. Lewis is running to it, and he can't get to the football. And Ray Oldham is complaining of offensive pass interference.
We got a flag here now.
Just back in the area where he threw the ball. And did they hit him? I don't think they hit him.
Well, they say interference, illegal use of the hands against the Steelers. That's a preliminary sign. Maybe you got one too many head taps in there. Huh?
I think at least we got one thing going for us, are the penalties, but not much else.
Now, taking a look at the penalties, the Steelers were penalized 4 times in the first half, the Colts 3 times. And here's a big walk-off. Listen to referee Pat Haggerty.
Illegal use of the hands, number 50, offense.
Illegal use of the hands takes the ball from the Colt 45 back to the Steeler 45.
They got Jim Clack again.
Yes, they did.
They say, Vince, if you miss a guy, you still try to grab him and take a chance of getting called.
Swan wide right, Stallworth wide left, split in the backfield on a first down and 20. Back to throw goes Bradshaw, kind of a shallow drop, lobs it upfield to Franco Harris. Harris is hit by 2 of the Colts and taken down at the 49-yard line. At the 49-yard line, Bruce Laird was there to help in the tackle, along with Darrell Luce. So a gain of 4 makes it second down and 16 now for the Steelers. They've got to go to the Baltimore Colt 35 for a first down.
He'll have to come right back with this draw play again, Chuck. I'd be watching for it if I was Cherinsky.
Well, we've got a slot right in Lewis and a split to the right in Lynn Swan and a flank left on the part of Stallworth. Back to throw on the draw comes Harris, and Mike Barnes stood him up. Dutton misses him and then got him the second time and held him at the 46-yard line. Dutton tried to take him up around the head and got rolled off him, and Dutton went down and grabbed him low and made the tackle, and Franco Harris, I'm sorry to say, is slow getting up.
Franco was shaking a little bit on the previous play, Chuck. He limped back to the huddle just slightly. The draw, and Dutton hit him head up. He bounced, and he grabbed him again, and Franco is conscious, but he is being I think these aromatic spirits of ammonia, whatever they have in those little cartridges, being applied to get him clear-headed again.
A little shot of, a little bit of eggnog or something to wake you up real quick.
Help to the sideline. He is out of the ball game. I hope we'll see him again. Reggie Harrison takes his place as a running back. So it's Harrison and Fuqua. The Steelers now show the Colts a double wing. The Colts almost jump off and get back. Bradshaw back to throw. Third. Pressure coming. Bradshaw runs now, throws incomplete upfield. And it is going to be 4th down and 19. And the Colts have stopped the Steelers for the first time today. For the fumble. It's the first time they've stopped us.
That's right.
Well, this is the first time they put any pressure on Bradshaw, too. Which goes to show you they're only human also.
All ready to go. We'll have a punt. Walden is on field to do the punting for the Steelers. Down around the 10-yard line waiting is Howard Stevens. Baltimore with a 10-man rush. The only man downtown is Stevens. The snap, here comes the pressure. He got it away. End over end. Stevens takes it to Baltimore. 20 straight ahead, 25, 30, and trapped and pulled off his pins at about the 32-yard line. Linebacker Toes got there, and Mike Webster also in on the tackle. Baltimore takes over. The WBOC in Salisbury, Maryland, and all of our network stations. Pause now for station identification. This is the Metro Media Baltimore Colts Football Network.
This is Tom Davis. Join me mornings and afternoons for complete sports on WCBM Metro Media Baltimore.
WCBM Colts Radio.
A split backfield behind Jones. First down at the Baltimore 31. Takeaway by Bert. No fake. Wants to throw. Sets up. Takes his time. Throws down the gut. Chester's got it at the Steeler 45. Right down the middle to Raymond Chester. First down Baltimore inside the Steeler 45.
That's good pass protection there. You have time to throw the ball.
And they figure, behind as much as the Colts are, they got to be going deep.
They got to open up.
Double covering those wide guys, and Raymond is open in the middle. They got to get one now. Crowd is with them. Listen.
Oh, the big wheels got him going up there in the upper deck. Along with the smoke.
Carr wide to the left, Dowdy wide to the right, split in the backfield, nobody behind Jones. First down, Steeler 45. Red down and set, waiting now for the takeaway. Jones may be audibilizing, a long count, turns and gets it to Lydell. Lydell skirts through the middle, finds a hole and fights inside the 40 to the Steeler 37-yard line. And Jack Ham stood him up there, and Lydell Mitchell found daylight where there didn't appear to be any daylight and ran to the Steeler 37. Second down and 2.
Jack Ham and Lydell used to be teammates for Joe Paterno.
We come to life a little bit after the half, huh?
Do what?
We come to life a little bit, Vince.
The crowd's coming to life, too. This helps. Come on, crowd.
Franco Harris out with bruised ribs. Carr is wide left, wide right. Dowdy, a standard pro set backfield. Lydell and Roosevelt shoulder to shoulder. Second and 2 at the Steeler 37. Penalty flag down. The ball goes to Leaks. He went straight ahead for first down yardage. It's nullified on an illegal motion penalty against the Colts.
Leaks was too anxious to get the ball.
So instead of second and 2, it'll be second and 7. The ball will be moved back to the 42. That really does hurt. A very uncomfortable mistake. I haven't seen many games played without it.
Even last week when we were beating Buffalo, he got called about 3 or 4 different times. And that really is concentration.
Leaks is out of the ball game. Don McCauley goes in at second down 7 at the Steelers 42. McCauley and Lydell are the setbacks. Dowdy wide right, Carr wide left. Chester on the right end of the line. Takeaway by Jones, a shallow drop, a quick pass to Lydell. Lydell is hit by one of those real good Steeler linebackers by the name of Jack Lambert and took him down at the 41-yard line. So the pass to Lydell picked up a yard, and it's 3rd down and 6.
I'll tell you, as they said before, and as advertised, the Steelers got their defensive linebackers. They really do move around.
Oh, man, you just can't run with them. I mean, the backs coming out of the backfield are really nullified, neutralized.
They are really excellent, particularly Lambert. He's just one of the, he's in the mold of the old guys like Dick Butkus and Joe Schmidt, only he's bigger, stronger, and faster. All ready to take away by Jones, 3rd and 6, back to throw, has a little time. Fakes, now runs into pressure, and is going to be pulled down in his own backfield, fighting for yardage. He's down at the Colt 45.
There we got a flag.
And a penalty flag has been dropped. Jones was thrown in the Colt 47-yard line. They spot the ball at the 45, now bring it to the 47, and the penalty flag has been dropped.
Well, the field judge came up to
holding against the Steelers, preliminary sign.
Field judge had come up to make the call, report to the officials, so this will be a 1st down, I think, for the Colts.
Oh, we got the brakes going our way now.
Yeah. They take it to the 41, and now they will walk it off from there. It'll go down to about the 31 of the Steelers. They bring the ball down to the 36-yard line, and it'll be 1st down.
Defensive holding, number 35, run, 1st down.
1st down on a holding penalty. Colt ball, 1st down, Steeler 36.
Let's see if Jones doesn't fire back off a play action and try to hit Roger Carr deep. It's about time.
Well, Carr has caught one for 17 yards and a TD so far today. Wide left, Dowdy the other way. I formation, leaks the front man. Fakes the handoff, rolls back deep to throw. Fires over the middle to Lydell Mitchell at the Steeler 30, and fumbled, and the Steelers' Andy Russell recovers at the 29. Lydell fumbled when taken down by one of the linebackers, and the other one, Russell, recovered.
Jack Ham made the tackle.
You have to almost say you can't run without the what. This was a good play.
Now, wait a minute. They may have ruled the ball was whistled dead prior to the fumble. They do.
Oh, boy. I tell you, as a rooter for the Colts, that's hard to believe.
Well, it is a judgment call on the part of the official, and by golly, you can't, I agree with what you've said, Vince, but that's the way he looked at it, so that's the way it's going to be. But boy,
oh boy.
I'll tell you, that's one of the weird ones.
You take him any way you can get him.
At the 29-yard line, 2nd down now. And about 4. I formation, the turn, the give to Lydell off the right side as there's nothing there, and he's taken down at the 28-yard line. Joe Green down on the bottom of the pile.
Donnie, see if Green doesn't line up offsides. They're so very, very close to it.
I mean, he does what he does, Vince. They put him inside between the guard and the center, and they try to, foul up the block and the offensive block. Sometimes he looks real good, and other times, he gets manhandled.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be 3rd down and about 2 for the Colts. The ball resting near the Steeler 28-yard line as they come to a standard pro set. McCauley, Roosevelt leaks the running backs behind Jones. Kennedy and Chester the tight ends. Waiting for the snap to Jones. He gets it to Leaks through the middle. Has got the 1st down and then some to the Steeler 22-yard line. Mike Wagner made the tackle. And the Colts have a 1st down at the Steelers.
This is good running. Their linebacker actually the defensive right end actually overruns the play. They had a game on. And he ran right by Roosevelt Leaks.
At the Steeler 22, 1st down, Baltimore, time 6:04, remaining 3rd quarter. Steelers leading by a count of 26-7. Split in the backfield, nobody behind Jones. Quarterback takes it away without a fake. A deep drop, sets up the throw, fires toward the end zone. Roger Carr can't get to it. It's over his head. And we'll go to a 2nd down and 10, Baltimore at the Steeler 22.
The high pass not brought on by the rush especially. Steeler defensive backs, super coverage. Had 2 people playing Carr, and they were with him as the ball was overthrown.
I'll tell you, on that last play there, that pass rush, Vince, there was a lot of holding, grabbing, and carrying on going on in there. I'm surprised the flag wasn't thrown in that one.
Well, they dropped number 63, Ernie Holmes, out of that defensive front 4 and add a defensive back shell. So they now come up with a down 3 to the Steelers on a 2nd down, 10, Baltimore at the Pittsburgh 22. Split in the backfield, nobody behind Jones. Waiting for the takeaway. Jones yanks it away, wants to throw, gets pressure, tries to run out of it, and is taken down at the Steeler 33. It was Andy Russell, blitzing linebacker, who got to him along with the defensive replacement, Donnie Shell, a safety man. And the
Number 59, Jack Ham, he also caused that. He jumped up. Now you watch Ham coming in from the left side, you see? And now Jones can't see where to go. He almost loses the ball.
Well, and that trite old expression you've heard a zillion times, now you know how Custer must have felt. Well, they were all over Jones back there.
Where do they all come from?
That's exactly right.
Well, that three down. Yeah, he did. That three down business is bothering them all year long. And you don't know who's blitzing.
3rd down and 20 from the Steeler 32. And the Colts hard pressed to do anything against this brilliant defensive unit of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Could be a blitz again.
Takeaway by Jones, back to throw. Here they come again. Jones steps on. Hold on, they got him again. Russell's got Jones down at the 40-yard line.
And look at the coverage downfield. Nobody was nearly open.
Vincent again. Oh, Jones, he nearly lost that ball. It didn't pop out of his arm for a minute, and he's quick enough to pull it back in again.
4th down and 28 now for Baltimore, and David Lee is on to punt with 5:18 remaining on the Steelers. Just bringing it to the Colts. They just never let up. They keep coming, keep coming. Physically, a very strong football team and a very well-coached and a team that executes. Make very few mistakes. Punting formation, and David Lee is on, waiting downfield. It's going to be Theo Bell once again for Pittsburgh, and we'll have David Lee waiting for the snap from Forest Blue. All ready to go. There's the snap. It's perfect. Here comes some pressure, and David Lee angles it to the penalty flag goes down. David Lee was hit. They ran into the kicker as Bell is snowed under with tacklers at about the 14-yard line. They ran into David Lee at midfield.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pittsburgh's doing everything to lose the game now.
There's another big break. They're not arguing it.
It's unbelievable.
They didn't run over him. They just kind of rolled into him. And
David Lee did a pretty good job then.
Larry Brown is the guy who ran into the punter. So the Colts maintain possession. It'll be 1st down Baltimore at the 35 of the Steelers.
What do you think Chuck Noll's thinking about right now?
He looks very calm. You look at him on the sideline. He hasn't taken his hands out of his pockets.
Wide left Carr, wide right Dowdy. Lydell and Roosevelt are the backs behind quarterback Jones. Waiting for the takeaway. Jones has got it a straight drop, deep drop, wants to throw, runs out of pressure. Jones is going to be down at the 35-yard line of the Steelers. He dove down and was Ernie Holmes falling on top of him. So Jones got it back to the line of scrimmage.
They don't stop blocking somebody, he's going to be punch drunk before the game's over.
Sonny, they're not running anybody out of the backfield. They have to keep them in the block, and the deep people are covered. I don't know what he's going to do with it unless somebody fakes the setup and then peels out of the backfield.
He was trying to go really to Chester again. Chester was way down there, but Chester was also covered.
Yeah, but if nobody comes out of the backfield for the linebacker to pick up, they can go chase Chester.
You're right.
So he's not that open. You got to have variety.
We've got another passing situation. Baltimore now with a 2nd and 10 at the Steelers 35. Waiting for Jones to take away. The Steelers may have jumped off. A penalty flag is thrown, and a flare pass to Roosevelt Leaks is poorly thrown. And we'll see whether the penalty flag is offside against Pittsburgh or whether they were drawn off. We'll know in a moment.
Pittsburgh's right defensive end.
Yeah.
Oh. He was drawn off, really.
Well, we'll know in a moment. It looks as though it might go against Baltimore, meaning illegal motion, and he was drawn offside. A false start, I believe, is what they call it. Here it is.
Illegal motion. Offense decline. 3rd down.
3rd and 10. Illegal motion decline. 3rd down 10. Baltimore at the Steeler 35. Now, as we sit here this afternoon and watch the Colts and the Steelers, Vince, you get a bit of an idea how the Steelers were able to hang up the record they've hung up coming into this afternoon's ball game. Defensively, they're just plain overpowering, that's all.
He'll go to Chester now, Chuck.
Okay, 3rd down 10. Chester split off the right end of the line. Jones takes it away. A deep drop, sets up, runs out of trouble. Now still running, looking, and Joe Green chases him. Green dives, misses him, and going out of bounds is Jones at about the 31-yard line of the Steelers. A very, very frustrating afternoon for young Bert Jones. He just has not had the chance to do anything at all. Jack Ham ran him out of bounds. Every time he looks up, there are 3 or 4 white-shirted Steelers all over him. And the coverage downfield of the deep backfield of the Steelers has been almost flawless.
He's going to go for the 4th down, for the first down.
Why not?
That's right. Listen, are you kidding? 3:50 left in the third quarter. They had the ball. It's like a scrimmage. Put the ball on the 35-yard line and let the team run with it. They've had many chances to get closer, but they haven't gotten there.
That looked like it was the longest run from the line of scrimmage.
It's from the 32-yard line. We've got about 7 to go. 4th and 7. Jones fakes the handoff to McCauley. McCauley throws a good block to help him. Going for broke. Roger Carr can't get there. He had double coverage. Blount was with him, and Edwards was with him. So the Colts give the ball over to the Steelers at the Steeler 32. Timeout in Baltimore with a score of the Steelers 26 and the Colts 7.
Oh, what a number this sandwich is. How was yours?
I'm thinking.
You're too busy to see a cute little number over there?
Look, I'm too busy with numbers to be interested in numbers.
Too interested in numbers to be interested in...
Look, I'm trying to figure out what number to play in the numbers game. You wouldn't understand, but you take today's temperature, add the weight of a cougar, and multiply by Einstein's factor.
Well, that's all. Just picking any 3-digit number, a date, a street number. That's all you got to do to play today to cash tonight.
You know, what about Einstein?
When did he win the Lowry's numbers game?
During this season, a lot of people are traveling, going home for the holidays. At HFC, we'd like to wish everyone who gathers at your home a very happy holiday season and remind you that we're here to help whenever you need us, this season or any season. Household Finance, an equal opportunity lender.
Well, the Steelers take the football again with 3:44 remaining in the third quarter. The Steelers just scored every time they handled the football with the exception of one time in the first half. And for the first time this afternoon, the Colts stopped them the last time they handled the football. They had a series of 3 downs and worked the ball, or rather 3 sequences, and worked the ball from their own 31, and then the Colts stopped them at the Steeler 46, and they were forced to kick the ball away. Now the Steelers with Bradshaw go to work again. Harrison is in the ball game. Franco Harris with bruised ribs is sitting it out. Waiting for the takeaway by Bradshaw. Rolls back, wants to throw. Looks, fires to the back out of the backfield. Harris to the 40, 45, and up to midfield goes Harris.
He runs faster than Franco Harris.
Reggie Harrison, a pretty good back from Cincinnati. A 3-year veteran. And he picks up first down at the Steeler 49-yard line.
Vince, I have to say really that this guy Bradshaw, I didn't think he was that good a quarterback, but he's picking him apart like a surgeon now.
He really is. And here's the difference. They're linebackers against the ability to cover the backs coming out of the backfield, and we haven't been able to do that.
All ready to go with a first down at the 49-yard line. Bradshaw turns, gives to Harrison. Harrison off the right side, and it runs through a couple of arm tackles and is finally pulled down at the Baltimore Colts 43-yard line.
This is what Chuck, you really call controlling the game now. Now they have to worry. They're worried about the pass, and now they open them up a little bit. And these guys, this offensive line of the Steelers, they show you a lot today. I don't know how good they've been all year, but that'd be pretty good to win 9 in a row, though, huh?
Second down and 2 at the Baltimore Colt 42-yard line. And again, it's Harrison and Fuqua setbacks behind Bradshaw. The give to Harrison. Into the middle he goes. Chayunsky stands him up at about the 40-yard line. But it's first down for the Steelers. Harrison has replaced Franco Harris. Harris is out with bruised ribs. And Harrison has picked up a first down at Baltimore's 40-yard line.
This makes it all the tougher now when they're running game going for if he decides to throw the ball, they got to look for the run first, and it really does slow down on your pass rush.
Frankly, Arthur, as we watch it, they develop this afternoon, it looks as though the Steelers honestly can do whatever they want to almost any time they want to. Bradshaw, play action fake. He's back to throw, sets up, fires. Lynn Swann with a great catch. The 27-yard line of the Baltimore Colts. And he is hurt, but he held on to the football. Mumford helped to put him down. Swann gets up and says, I'm all right.
You don't catch the ball any better than that, Chuck. That's just a great pass. It has to be. It's put right in there. Who's the guy? Number 46 is the guy that made the tackle, Salter, but he looked like he was trying to get out of the way.
He has hands like Biletnikoff. He
at
really.
the 27, and doesn't that fella have a pair of hands? Oh, my goodness. Steelers on a drive once again. First down to the Baltimore 27. Bradshaw has them down and set the takeaway. He gives it to Harrison. Harrison off the left side, shucks one tackler and falls inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. Hanging on was Jim Chiunsky, who refused to be shaken off. Salter came up to help him out. The ball is rested at 24, a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
That was the best shot by our linebackers all day. Stan White knocked 33 Future over the runner. It was good bet.
Well, Larry Brown goes out of the ball game as a tight end. Stallworth comes in, so they're playing Lewis as a slot right. Lynn Swan outside him to the right, and Stallworth splits off on the left side. They split the backfield. Nobody behind Bradshaw on a 2nd down and 7 at the Colt 24. Bradshaw hands it to Harrison. Into the middle he goes, and he is down to the 20-yard line, and the Colts are able to stand him up down there with fellas like Ehrman and Dutton.
But they're doing it just for eating the time up now.
That's exactly
this is
right.
bad. We got to get the ball back if we're going to do anything at all.
Well, about the only thing the Colts have been able to do so far this afternoon against the Steelers, do something no other team did all year, score a touchdown against them in the first quarter.
When it was a ball game, 9-7.
That's right.
And now the time is running out for the third period, and Pittsburgh won't get a playoff. So we shut him out in the third period.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter with our score. The Pittsburgh Steelers 26, the Baltimore Colts 7. Well, the fourth quarter about to get underway in Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, and it would appear that the better part of this football game, the first half of the first quarter clearly belonged to the Steelers. The second half of the first quarter belonged to the Colts, and everything else has belonged to Pittsburgh as they now have the ball at the Baltimore 20-yard line, 3rd down and 3 as we go to the final quarter this afternoon.
Hey, Vince, Stan White just come from talking with Marchibroda for the beginning of the fourth quarter. And I bet you Stan White said, what do you think, Ted?
Think
and Ted said, stop him.
Well, the Steelers have put on an awesome demonstration this afternoon. Slot right, Lewis. Flank wide right is Stallworth. The other way, Lynn Swan, and the other way it's Stallworth to the left. Takeaway, the give goes to Harrison off the left side. It's daylight to the 15. Dives between people to the 10-yard line goes Harrison, who is the replacement for Franco Harris. First down for the Steelers around the Baltimore Colt 11-yard line.
That's what you say, blowing them out of there.
That's right. You know, they might be a little demoralized, too. The offense not having been able to take advantage of many opportunities from around the 35-yard line. And now the defense figures, what the heck, they can't score. What are we supposed to do?
Maybe we'll get lucky and Pittsburgh will quick kick.
Well, the Steelers on the football from the same offensive set. Swan split wide right, a slot inside him is Lewis. The other way this time, it looks like Theo Bell. Hold on a minute, it is. And now the takeaway by Bradshaw lobs it into the corner of the end zone, incomplete, intended for Swan. And Mumford with him every step of the way was just had better protection that time and was able to break up the play. It was not Theo Bell on that far side, it was Ernie Pugh. It is 2nd down and 10 for the Steelers at the Colt 11-yard line. Just a lob, just to put it in the corner. He was throwing to a target and hoping that Swan could get to the ball before the defender Mumford. It didn't work that time.
If that door to the dugout was open, Swan would have been in the dressing room.
And probably could have caught it in the runway, too, the way he goes. Same offensive set. Stallworth this time wide left. Slot right is Lewis. Hold on a minute. They have a shift, and now the takeaway by Bradshaw. He's back to throw. A little bit of pressure. Throws down the gut. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Lynn Swan is there.
We had a safety blitz on, and he threw it right where the safety man left. Just a great play.
And then left it up to Mumford to cover that spot, and Lloyd couldn't get over from the left corner.
It was a delayed safety blitz, too.
Salter
See you later.
Yep.
With 14:10 remaining, the Steelers are just putting the icing on the cake. They have been able to do it in every department of football this afternoon, with a possible exception of kicking off.
I got a good idea. They ought to let the clock just continually run. What?
Now waiting for the point after touchdown effort by Girella. It's in the air, looks all right, no penalty flags, and Girella really uncomfortable, gimping and limping off to the sideline. You can tell that groin injury is bothering him as the Steelers now lead at 33-7. And they're just doing a thing on the Baltimore Colts. They have completely dominated. They have outplayed them in all departments. Well, the Colts had a great year. They played some very good football in the first half of the year. It appeared that they did not play as well as they might have played in the second half of the season. And that downward swing has continued this afternoon at the expense of the Steelers. And I have a feeling the Steelers are going to make a lot of football teams look bad before they finish this season. 60,020 this afternoon, the attendance. That is a capacity turnout.
This has been our best offensive weapon so far today, Chuck. Has been a short kickoff. Other than that, we're not even in the ball game.
Well, that's just how good the Steelers have been.
And you know what? I don't think they've had a punt one time, have they?
Yeah, they punted one time.
Yeah, one time Walden punted, yes.
Oh, I must have been out having a short one.
All right, Arthur.
If they go on to Oakland, as it looks as though they will, well, what a battle that should be, because Oakland has come up short so many times when it looked as though they had it. The famous immaculate reception, they called it a few years ago, and Franco Harris caught the rebound and beat them in the last second after Oakland looked like they had it. And now they're playing in Oakland's Park. Well, if Pittsburgh is to go there, that'll be worth watching.
All ready to go. Bobby Walden will kick off now for the Steelers. He's their punter on the ball, and he hit it pretty good right down the throat. Howard Stevens to the 15, now the 20, to the 30. Jigs outside to the 30. On his feet and spilled forward to about the 35-yard line. Colts go to work first and 10 at their own 35. The tackle credit to Benny Cunningham, a rookie from Clemson. You talk about a tight end with size. There's a guy that's 6'4", 255 pounds.
What's his number, Chuck?
He is 89.
I didn't even see him. Oh, yeah, I see him now.
He's a rookie.
There's a guy with the yellow pants on.
That's one of them. Well, Jones and his teammates just completely frustrated with the defensive efforts of the Steelers all day. The Steelers have been just as good as everybody said they would be this afternoon. The takeaway by Jones, rolls a little bit left, sets up, throws down the middle, caught by Lydell Mitchell at the 42, 3-yard line of the Colts, and taken down there by middle linebacker Jack Lambert.
This guy Lambert, he's all over the place.
He is not only all over the place, but he hits like a ton. I'll tell you, he does.
How big is he?
He's 6'4" and 220, and I notice he doesn't help people up the way some of them do after he knocks them down.
He doesn't like anybody until the game's over, Vince.
Well, that helping people up after you knock them down is for the birds anyhow.
A lot of guys do it, huh? Did he?
Sure, it takes your energy away.
That's right.
Second down and 2 at the Colt 43. And Jones is going to have to just fill the air with footballs. Hands off to Lydell Mitchell. Cuts into the middle. He's stuck up at the 45.
First down, though.
He may have the first down. It looks as though he's just across the 45. And if he is, that'll be a first down.
Vern Toller, the judge on the sideline, says he's got a first down.
That's the story.
Didn't he play with Gino Toller in college?
He played with Gino, Matson, Joe Scudera, and a lot of those guys out there. They didn't have to go to school. All they had to do was show up for practice.
I remember a remark that Arthur Donovan made one day as the bus went by that University of San Francisco. He said, there's the spot where they retired Marchetti's grades. The pass is thrown off the hands of Raymond Chester at the Steeler 45-yard line. Second down coming for Baltimore at their own 45. Well, I know what a bitter disappointment this football game has been to so many Baltimore Colt football fans. And, you look at the Colt effort this afternoon, and I think if you talk to the players, as Vince will in the post-game show today, a lot of them are going to say that they just didn't play very well. But I have found down through the years, Vince, that a good team, a team as good as the Steelers, are going to make you look a lot worse than you really are.
That would be the understatement of the year, Chuck.
They really are. The Steelers are just look as though they can do anything they want almost any time they want to.
They're coming on like gangbusters.
All ready to go with a second and 10. Jones yanks it away, wants to throw, sets up to find his receiver. A lot of time, fires down the middle. Dowdy has it, the 30 of the Steelers, and is going to be taken down inside the 30-yard line.
Oh, we got something going now.
Mel Blunt made the stopping tackle, and Dowdy gets out of that mess of tacklers and comes up all right. First down at the Steeler 29.
The 26 yards are biggest play of the day. One of them.
Once again, for those in the stadium who are tuned in on transistor radios, the bad behavior that a few fans will occasionally show in the stadium will not be tolerated at all in any manner, shape, or form. Throw caught by Carr at the 11-yard line of the Steelers. And back there was the linebacker Russell helping Blount, and Carr made the catch at the 11-yard line for another first down.
That was a great catch because he almost lost the handle on that one, Chuck. They come back in with the ball.
33-7, the Steelers. Colts first down at the Steeler 11-yard line. They show an I formation. Roosevelt Leaks and Lydell Mitchell. Dowdy wide right, Carr, Dowdy the other way. And the Colts about ready to put it in play again. Whoops, contact is made as Jones pulls back to throw, but the penalty flag has been dropped. To show you, Dwight White went right up to Jones, stopped right in front of him, then reached out and went and yanked the football out of his hand.
I think it's Jones is pulling these guys off sides because he got a little bit of a jerk.
Well, let's see what the referee, Pat Haggerty, has to say. Illegal. Baltimore, illegal procedure, illegal motion.
Jones jerked.
We'll find out from Haggerty. Here it is.
Offense.
Well, all he says is offense. He doesn't define and tell you who the person is.
Well, Donnie, the quarterback can move his head.
I guess so, Vince, but it looks like he's moving jerking his shoulders, too, you know.
Well, Steve Furness has come in now on that defensive line and going out to get a little bit of a breather is Dwight White. At the 16-yard line, Jones drops the throw, looks to find a receiver, throws into the end zone, incomplete. Raymond Chester tried to make the catch in the end zone and didn't get to it. Jack Lambert is down there protesting bitterly that Chester was guilty of interference.
What's a little push among friends?
I'll tell you one thing, that fellow Lambert, Arthur Donovan, would fit into a few of the football teams that you played with years ago.
He's a great football player.
He really is that.
You see, look, he really did. He watching on an instant replay, he actually punched Lambert in the face.
Did he?
Yeah, he should have been called. Look at him, he's right, too. You tell him, Jack.
Well, they come up with a second down.
Don't say too much, you get thrown out of the game.
That's still 15. Jones has a split backfield behind him to take away by Jones.
Blitz.
He's back to throw. He lobs it up in the air. Roger Carr can't get to it. And
he was out of bounds.
Took his hat and threw it off, and I guess Roger Carr was out of bounds. Blount wouldn't give him any territory to move in.
Do you think that official has to use a comb to brush his hair?
Watch that talk, Arthur.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chuck.
Listen, he was out of bounds before he, you know, you can't go out of bounds and come back in and make the play.
And White goes out of the ball game. Holmes goes out of the ball game. Here comes Lambert back in, and he brings with him linebacker Lawrence Hawes.
Hey, Vince, is that a penalty if you go out of bounds and come back in and catch the ball?
I think it is. It'd be an unsportsmanlike conduct kind of a call.
They even had a safety
forward
blitz.
pass, wouldn't it?
I know there's a penalty on it.
It's a penalty on it.
There is.
Yep.
Wide right, Dowdy. Roger Carr the other way.
Here comes your blitz, too.
Third down, 15 at the Steelers' 16-yard line. Jones yanks it away. So here they come. He throws to Dowdy. Dowdy's got it at the 5. Penalty flag goes down as Dowdy goes inside the 5-yard line. The man making the tackle, J.T. Thomas. And let's see what the flag is all about. George Kuhn says it's against the Steelers.
If I had been against Chester, Chester violated. He was hit. Although they threw to Dowdy, there was foul committed against Chester, I think.
Oh, they were all over Dowdy.
Defensive pass interference. Defense declined.
Well, the defensive pass interference penalty declined. The Baltimore Colts. Hold on a minute. Jones says, wait a minute. We're not declining the penalty. We accept the penalty because that'll give us a first down.
Sure, it should give them a first down at the 5.
Right, because they need to go to the 1-yard line in order to get a first down.
Give them a first down at the 8-yard line.
And they put it at the 8-yard line.
And Jones is in the game.
First down for the Colts at the Steeler 8. 33-7, the Steelers lead. 11:27 remaining. Wide right, Dowdy, the other way, Carr, Lydell Mitchell, and Roosevelt Leaks in the split backfield behind Bert Jones. Bert not having one of his better days throwing the ball, gives it to Lydell, a sweep of the right end. Lydell to the 5, to the 1, and down he goes at that spot. Lydell did not get in. Jones has thrown the ball 24 times, completed 11. And they're going to spot Lydell down somewhere around the 2-yard line. They bring it back in and spot it now at the 1-yard line, okay? Second and goal from the 1. And
That was pretty good pursuit by number 23.
Pretty good ball player, Mike Wagner, a safety man from Western Illinois.
He wrestled him down to the ground.
Lydell Mitchell is out of the ball game. Roosevelt Leaks and Don McCauley, the running back. Second down and goal from the 1-yard line. The turn, the give to Leaks, left side. Touchdown, Baltimore. Leaks went over the left side for the score. Steelers now 33. Baltimore coming up on 14 if the point after is good. With 10:44 remaining.
One thing you got to say, they haven't quit.
No.
You know, they're down, but they haven't quit.
They've got to figure out some way of stopping that offensive unit of the Steelers and getting that football back, something they have not been able to do effectively in the first half of the ball game. They did shut them out in the third quarter. The point after penalty flag drop kick is okay. And let's see what the penalty flag is all about. The officials talk it over. It may have been offside on the Steelers' part on the point after. Offside. Pittsburgh declined Baltimore with 10:44 remaining in the fourth quarter. With the score, the Steelers 33, the Baltimore Colts 14. Timeout here in Baltimore, back in 1 minute. Well, the Colts have hung up their second touchdown in a drive covering 65 yards in 10 plays. And Linhart will kick off now from the 40-yard line. Is big old Cunningham. Benny, a rookie from Clemson. The fellow we talked about, Arthur, with that fantastic size.
Great pair of hands, too. He flew it out like Brooks Robinson.
Well, as a tight end, he should.
Scooped it up.
And Linhart did a good job masking that thing. He approached that ball at full speed and then tried to hook it to the side, and Benny Cunningham grabbed it.
Vince, he's been quite a surprise this year, Linhart. Huh? He had a great year.
He really has had a great year. He's been one of the very best kickers in all of football. First down at midfield for the Steelers. The give goes to Harrison. Harrison off the left side, bounces off the tackler, and gets trapped at about the Colt 48. Second down and 8 now. For the Steelers, for WVOB in Bel Air, Maryland, and all of our network stations, we'll pause now for station identification. This is the Metro Media Baltimore Colts Football Network. Well, the Steelers, second down 8 at the Baltimore 48. They've got Harrison and Fuqua as setbacks. Stallworth wide left, Swan wide right. Bradshaw quarterbacks without a fake. A deep drop, ready to throw. Sets up, fires down the middle. Lynn Swan's got it, and down he goes. And the penalty flag has been dropped right along in the offensive backfield, where usually you figure if you see a flag, it could be holding.
He threw it at Mansfield, the center's feet. So I guess he was holding.
Yeah, one of the officials in that Oakland-New England ball game threw a penalty marker and hit a player right on the helmet with it yesterday.
Boy, I'm telling you,
sometimes they have to get bigger, wider lenses.
I guess so.
The Colts have had the best of this, huh?
Holding blue, number 57.
All the way, Vince. They've kept them in the ball game, really, the officials.
Sam Davis, the guard.
That's true. The penalties against the Steelers have really helped keep the Colts in the ball game. Second down, 19 now. From the Steeler 42, they show an I formation with Harrison, the front man, in the I, and Fuqua, the second man. They take away by Bradshaw. He flares it out to Fuqua. Fuqua is in the clear up to midfield. Fuqua down to the Baltimore 40, to the 35, to the Baltimore 30, to the Baltimore 32-yard line. 28-yard line goes Fuqua.
You think that wasn't a great call? Anything I said about Bradshaw? No, I don't really take it back. But he is pretty smart.
I'm telling you, he's had a great day throwing the ball down. That's a pass that has to be perfectly thrown. The back flaring out of the eye. And
he had some great blocking going on down there, too, Vince. They really were leveling people.
I wondered if they'd sit on it, and you suggested earlier save something for Oakland next week, but they're using things they hadn't used before.
Jerry Mullins made a whale of a block cracking back there to save that play for the Steelers. With a first down now, the ball resting at the Baltimore Colt 27-yard line. Bradshaw, the inside handoff to Fuqua. A sweep of the right side, cuts behind a good block. Fuqua's inside the 20 to the Baltimore 18 or 19.
It's just a matter of the clock running out now, let me tell you. They're blowing them out of there. The words of the great immortal Weeb Eubanks, they say, I'm embarrassed. But he never got hit.
At the 16-yard line, the ball being spotted down, and it'll be a first down for the Steelers. The Fuqua sweep.
Washington beat us one time, and Weeb says, I'm embarrassed, and I'm going out the back way. And Big Daddy says, I'm not embarrassed, I'm going out the right way.
First down at the Baltimore 16. Bradshaw takes it away, gives it to Fuqua, tries the left side. It's open again. Inside the 10 goes Fuqua. And the Steelers, you mentioned a moment ago, the Colts, of course, have not quit. They don't know how to quit, and neither do the Steelers. They just keep right on coming after you. Stan White made the tackle. Ball resting at the 10-yard line of the Baltimore Colts. It's second down and 4. 33-14. The Steelers are leading the Baltimore Colts, and this late stage in the ball game, some of the spectators are getting a little bit unhappy, and that will not be tolerated. Shouldn't be tolerated at any time. All ready to go. Bradshaw gives it to Harrison down the middle at the 5 to the 4. He's in for the touchdown. Harrison scores right down the middle for the Steelers.
That was just a delayed draw, a trap up the middle, and it was just greatly executed. Mike Barnes gets blocked out of there real good. In fact, he's the only guy that touched him all the way up to... Oh, this guy come in late, but he just pushed him in for the touchdown.
Well, the Colts this afternoon against the Steelers from the, what is it they say, Vince? The City of Bridges.
City of Bridges.
They're getting a thumping this afternoon. They're getting a lesson in how a championship football team can operate when it's got it in high gear. And the Steelers have had it in high gear from the moment they walked out on the field a few hours ago.
They should have stayed on the Bridges instead of coming here.
Mansfield is going to try the point after touchdown. He hits it, looks pretty good. Mansfield scores. He kicks the point after touchdown. And it's now the Steelers 40 to 14. Arthur?
There's a break in the action. Let's pause now for this message.
Well, with 7 minutes and 37 seconds left, the outcome has not been in doubt for quite a little while this afternoon. The Steelers now lead it by 40 to 14. They have just done a magnificent job in all departments and have clearly been this afternoon, unquestionably this afternoon, the much better football team. Bobby Walden will kick it off, and Howard Stevens waiting down on the 10-yard line. Walden hits it. He missed it off the side of the foot, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the Baltimore 27.
Did you ever see such bad kicking?
Listen, let me tell you, we've been kidding about it, but they better get something. They better get Jarrell well for next week. They don't want to be doing this.
Well, with a lead of 40 to 14, they're not going to, use up Jarrella. They're going to rest him and treat him and see if they can get him ready for Oakland. And I got 2 words for Oakland next weekend.
Watch out.
Good luck. Good luck.
Be ready.
Amen, because I think this team is going to take them apart.
I'll tell you, this is a great-looking football team. As a Baltimore broadcaster, you naturally have to be kind of a Baltimore Colts fan. I am, and very proud of the fact that I am. But this afternoon, the Steelers have just handed it to the Baltimore Colts. They have been just a much, much better football team.
Well, I will see an onside kick here. Who knows?
Well, he might not be deliberate, though.
Look at this.
He popped it up. Back goes Ron Lee. Ron Lee takes it at the Baltimore 30, 35, now the 40, and is going to be taken down at the 45-yard line. Baltimore goes to work at that spot. First down at their own 45.
I tell you,
tackle made by Lauren Towers.
Fred Retchishaw's got to be rolling over somewhere, watching this kick going on.
Remember the afternoon, the evening, it was an afternoon game down in Dallas, Texas, when Mumble, Steve Meyer kicked off, and the wind hit it and blew it behind him.
Everybody on our kickoff team started running down. All of a sudden, they all looked up in the air. There goes the ball behind them. They all turn around. Reverse.
Well, here goes the double wing formation now from Baltimore, and the takeaway by Bert. He's got nothing to do but try to keep putting points up there. Throws to Roosevelt Leaks, and Leaks is hit at the Steeler 45 with a first down, and a penalty flag is dropped back around the 40-yard line. Jack Ham made the tackle for the Steelers at the 45-yard line.
Come on, stop throwing a flag so we can get out of here.
Anybody want to volunteer for the locker room show?
I'll tell you what, Vince, I don't think the locker room show will be that difficult today. Down through the weeks, this Colt football team has proven that they've got a lot of class, that they've always been good pros and very gracious about appearing on post-game shows, not only after victories, but after losses. And I think you'll find them to be their gracious self again this afternoon.
There goes 2 to fans out. Howard.
Second down and 20 now.
Well, Chuck, I think it does you good to build a relationship with some of these fellas to allow you to do that, because some members of the press from out of town asking the pointed questions, it's a little tougher there for them.
But there's an old trite expression again: if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Right.
Amen, brother.
Second down and 20 at the 35. Jones pulls it away. It's back to throw. Rolling left. Penalty flag is down. Throws it upfield for grabs, and it goes out of bounds.
There goes another flag. They were offsides. Their right defensive end moved before the ball was snapped.
Well, I wonder. You look at a football game like this, and the Baltimore Colts have been just manhandled by the Steelers this afternoon. They're losing at 40 to 14, and I think Colt football fans begin to wonder now, what changes do the Colts have to make to be able to play on a level with teams like the Steelers? And that is a topic that you can discuss for quite some time.
We'll be going over all during the off-season, Chuck.
You're right.
Watching who they draft, what they do. There goes some of the Steelers off. They look like they just come back from the Battle of Gettysburg. Look at them.
Yep.
Rocky Breyer and some other fellas got a big Oh, that's what.
That's Franco Harris, I thought.
Franco Harris is
Bruised ribs.
having trouble breathing.
Jones is back to throw again. Here comes pressure. He ducks out of the pressure, and then they can't go anywhere. The Steelers are all over him. Looks like Ernie Holmes is there. And the Steelers just keep coming.
You know, Chuck, everybody was there, and nobody got blocked.
They still have the starting linebackers, Ham and Russell and Lambert, in the game, so he can't throw quick ones to the backs, which has been a problem all day long. I think that's been one of the biggest reasons the offense hasn't been able to move it.
And Vince, they're not worried about the run now.
No.
And they're just teeing off on it.
7 minutes left.
This is fun time. Everybody grab a bone. They're out there to do it. And if the Colts were in the same position, well, we've seen them in that position. They've gone right out there and done it. You bet. Jones with back to throw once again to see if he's can find anybody. Flares it to Don McCauley to the 40. Don McCauley goes out of bounds at the Baltimore 40, maybe at the first down mark. Well, no, not quite. He's
got 11 yards to go for
just exactly. Just exactly. Third down, about 11 now. The ball resting at the Baltimore Colts. Hold on a minute. The penalty flag has been dropped.
Offside penalty against the Colts.
Come on.
Offside Baltimore. Well,
these guys have been watching too much movies.
well, I don't know, Arthur. I'm not in a position to say, but one thing I can tell you is that they certainly have not been able to come up with a good effort against the Steelers this afternoon. Whether that's due entirely to the Steelers or not, I'm not in a position to say. But they have not shown the kind of football they are capable of showing.
Any more penalties, we'll end up in the end zone. Maybe everybody go away, go home.
A lot of folks are. See the seats?
Third down, long yardage for Baltimore. They've got second down and a half a day. Back to throw is Jones again. Plenty of time this time. Throws up the middle, and Chester can't get to it at the 40-yard line. It'll be third down coming now.
It's just turned out into a route now. I don't think it's even... Like I remember the time, Vince, when we were playing the 49ers at 58, we had to come out in the second half and score a lot of points. Well, John was moving the team, and it was on third down on the 8-yard line, on an 8 to go, and he called a timeout. He come over to Weeb, and he says, "What do you got for me, Weeb?" And says, "I don't know, John. What do you got?" And John said, "That's why I came over here. Give me something I could use." And Weeb walked around a little, come back and said to John, "Get me a first down." John throws a pass for a touchdown, and Weeb turns around. Everybody thought he was a genius.
Here's that third down and still tremendous yardage. Jones setting up the throw. Here comes the linebacker, Talls, and he's got him. Talls downs him back at the 15-yard line. And it is fourth down and tremendous yardage for Baltimore back at their own 15.
Bert, don't get him mad. It's bad enough as it is.
Well, the Steelers have come to Baltimore this afternoon and shown the Baltimore Colt football fans that the winning streak that carried them into the playoffs was not a fluke. They are just a son of a gun of a football team, and they deserve to win this afternoon's ball game. They've outplayed the Colts in every way, manner, shape, and form.
No doubt about it.
With but one exception, and that's the punting game. And they haven't had to punt, but what, once? No, twice. Here is David Lee waiting for the snap from center. He's got it okay. And David just hit the daylights out of it. All the way back to the Steeler 37 goes Poe. Poe along the 40-yard line, now reverses his field. Eating up the clock is Poe, and he's going to be spun down at the 35-yard line. That's 6 minutes remaining, and a long time to go. There's a timeout with the score. The Steelers 40 and the Baltimore Colts 14. Well, the Steelers will take over on their own 35-yard line, and they've got a brand-new quarterback out there, Mike Kruzik, a kid who carried him when Bradshaw was not able to do so. He won the 6 games that he started. He was a son of a gun of a youngster, and he's now quarterbacking the Steelers. He turns, gives it off to Fuqua, tries the left side. He bolts straight ahead for almost 5, about to the 40-yard line before the Colts take him down.
And you know what? It doesn't look like they're going to let up either.
When you get it in gear, just keep it in gear.
Right, amen. Keep going right through the week, right out to Oakland.
One of my favorite golf pros used to say, when you get them 2 down, get them 3. When you get them 3 down, get them 4. When you get them 4, get them 5.
Kruzik was 6 for 6 games won, so he knows what it feels to be with a winner.
At the 40-yard line, he got a second down at about 6. Kruzik all ready to go. He takes it away, wants to throw the ball. He flares it out to Harrison. Harrison at the 40 is going to get taken down by Stan White and Bruce Laird. And there's little no gain on the play. So it'll be second down and just about, so let's call it second down at 5.
Yeah, third down.
Third down at 5, excuse me, right.
You know, you wonder back to the bomb to Frank Lewis on the third play of the game after we'd stopped 2 running plays, and I'll have to ask what kind of an effect that may have had.
It really could have, hurt him.
Kruzik yanks it away without a fake, wants to throw. The young quarterback, a rookie, plenty of time, throws over the middle. It's caught by number 83, Theo Bell, at the Baltimore Colts 47-yard line for a first down.
Kruzik's going to pick you apart, too. You get all that time to throw the ball.
First down, Steelers at the Baltimore Colts 47.
You know, you think back again, and we have to do that. The Steelers fumbled the opening kickoff. Remember that? We knocked the ball loose. We might have had it on the 20-yard line. And really, how do you know? I mean, it might have just delayed what's happened again here.
I think, overall, I think it would have.
I think it would have,
This is a better football
Sure it is.
If you're asking for the turning point of the ball game, I thought it was the flip of the coin.
Very good, Chuck.
Here comes Fuqua. He's going off to the left and then into the middle, and he is stopped right along the line of scrimmage. In other words, just the Steelers have just been clearly the much better football team, and the Colts did manage to put together one drive, but it was just just meaningless because Pittsburgh has been that good.
You know, they talk about the Pittsburgh defensive line and linebackers. They keep building them up and building them up. But today, the outstanding part of the whole game has been their offensive pass protection.
Absolutely right.
There's no two ways about it.
Right.
This team, they'll block Oakland right out of the ballpark.
All ready to go. Second down and 9. Kruzik in at quarterback, takes it away without a fake, wants to throw, looks to find a receiver, throws over the middle. Reggie Harrison's got it to the 40-yard line of the Colts, to the 45, and then down to about the 30-yard line goes Harrison, taken down by Brian Salter. A little bit of a flare to the back coming out of the backfield, and the Steelers have another first down at the Colt 30.
I watched this boy, Kruzak, is it? The quarterback?
Kruzak, yes. Boston College.
The opening game against Notre Dame 2 years ago, and they would have won the ball game if the BC coach let him throw the ball. They only lost by about 6 points.
Yeah.
And this kid didn't, and he really's got a great arm.
Well, this has been one of the most disappointing Sundays in Baltimore Colt history in some time. The home field advantage had absolutely no effect, none whatsoever, on the Steelers.
Maybe next time we'll play without any fans in the stands.
Here's Drusek, pressure coming. Fred, he runs out of the pressure, looking for somebody to throw to, fires and hits Theo Bell. Bell is inside the Baltimore 20-yard line with another Steeler first down. That's a pretty good-looking kid, that Mike Kruzak, 6 foot, 196-pounder from BC.
Boston College, via Virginia, or whatever that means. Otherwise, he comes from Virginia.
First down, Steelers. The ball at the Colt 19. The Colts now, in the longest 2 minutes of their season, waiting for that clock to run down.
We've had some bad Sundays here. How about 1954? We played the Rams, and the first play was a sleeper. You remember that?
Sure. Yeah.
Those thieves.
Well, with the score, the Steelers 40, the Colts 14. There's the 2-minute warning. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Well, we'll go to the final 2 minutes. The Steelers will go to Oakland next Sunday, the day after Christmas, and we'll play the Oakland Raiders. And I would doubt very much if Oakland has what it takes to stop this team if they play the way they have played this afternoon. And I kind of think
Vince,
actually
somebody asked me what happened to the wheel at halftime. He was supposed to be with the spoke on the field.
Well,
he may be suiting up.
Well, Kruzak rather has him down and set inside the 20 at the 19, first down for the Steelers. He's going to throw again. Throws right down the middle, and it's off the hands of the intended receiver, Ernie Powell. Second down and 10.
Now, the wheel has done a lot. We've had a lot of great characters like that. I remember the late Willie the Rooter. He was a terrific guy when you were playing.
How about Mr. Gaddis, who's been around here forever?
Bill Gaddis, I love him. Give me a seat.
That poor guy, he's like playing second team now to the wheel and the spoke. Oh, Gaddis is there in my section every week. Section 7.
We saw him before the ball game today, didn't we?
Great guy.
He sure is.
Well, the Steelers now have a second down and 10 at the 19. Kruzak back to throw once more. He throws over the middle, and it's caught, I think, by Harrison at about the 16-yard line, and Harrison is taken down by Darrell Luce.
I'll tell you, they finally got to the quarterback, and Kruzak got nailed.
It's that 3rd and 7. Well, there'll be no running on the field this afternoon. The Colts here in Baltimore the conduct of our fans, I think, has been exemplary compared to the conduct of a lot of fans I've seen around the country. And I'm glad it's going to be that way, that people don't, behave in such an ill-mannered fashion and race out on the field and do silly things. It's just now, you just can't tolerate that. And they will not be allowed to do it this afternoon. Here's the give on the draw to Fuqua. Fuqua down to the 10, to the 5. Hits Mumford, I think it was, and took him down at about the 3-yard line. No, it wasn't Mumford, excuse me.
This is just
Brian
adding
Salter.
insult to injury. That's all it's doing.
Well,
But maybe Pittsburgh better save these points, because maybe in years to come, the things turn around. History has a way of turning things around. It just happened to them.
Yeah, well, they put some second-team players in. What do you want them to do, Johnny?
That's exactly right.
I'd like to have them run the clock out.
Well, the Colts have been handed a drubbing this afternoon they will not soon forget. And they have learned that championship caliber football is a different brand of football. And the Steelers are very definitely a championship caliber team. The give goes to Fuqua to the left side, and he is not going to make it down to the 23-second mark and counting. And I'll tell you right now, I'll take a long shot. You want to pick a Super Bowl winner for 1977? I'll pick the Steelers.
Now, there's a little class here, Donnie. They're letting the clock run out.
Yeah,
they're letting the clock run out. They really are.
They just came and they played great football, period.
That they did. They really played great football, and they deserved to win this afternoon, and they did it in a championship fashion. They did it in a most convincing manner. That's the end of the game. The Steelers win it 40-14. Well, the hopes of the Baltimore Colts for a Super Bowl year this year in Baltimore were just rolled right off the cliff by a fantastic display of power football on the part of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who came to Baltimore this afternoon and proved once again that the way they wrapped up the season with 9 straight victories, the way they threw in 5 shutouts was not a fluke. It wasn't accidental. It wasn't a weak schedule. It was the result of a very, very good football team doing their job the way they are capable of doing it. They scored first this afternoon, 3 plays into the football game. They had a 3rd and 9 at their own 24. Well, the hopes of the Baltimore Colts for a Super Bowl year this year in Baltimore were just rolled right off the cliff by a fantastic display of power football on the part of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who came to Baltimore this afternoon and proved once again that the way they wrapped up the season with 9 straight victories, the way they threw in 5 shutouts was not a fluke. It wasn't accidental. It wasn't a weak schedule. It was the result of a very, very good football team doing their job the way they are capable of doing it. They scored first this afternoon, 3 plays into the football game. They had a 3rd and 9 at their own 24. Bradshaw cut loose a 76-yard bomb to Frank Lewis, and that had kind of set the tone of things to come as the Steelers overwhelmed the Colts and just blew them right out this afternoon. Bradshaw had a great day, throwing for 264 yards, completing 13 of 18. Franco Harris ran for 132 yards before he left the game with bruised ribs. His replacement, Reggie Harrison, carried the ball 11 times for 43. Lewis only caught 2 balls all afternoon, but for a total of 103 yards, and one of those a touchdown. You stack that against the performance of Bert Jones, 11 of 25 this afternoon for 144 yards. In the running department, Lydell Mitchell carried the ball 16 times, and the best he could get out of it was a total of 55 yards. It was the Steelers from the opening gun, and they go to Oakland next Sunday afternoon to play the Oakland Raiders. And I think if you ask every Baltimore Colt fan who walks out of the stadium this afternoon, to a man, they would tell you that the Oakland Raiders might be in a lot of trouble when they take on the Steelers next week.
For 3 touchdown passes, 76 yards to Frank Lewis, 30 and 11 yards to Lynn Swan. Reggie Harrison scored from a yard out and 10 yards away. Roy Girella kicked 2 field goals of 45 and 25 yards as the Steelers sadly beat the Colts 40-14. Franco Harris gained 132 yards on the ground. Frank Lewis caught 2 for 103 yards. Lynn Swan caught 5 for 71. And Terry Bradshaw only missed completing 5 passes. He was 13 of 18, good for 264 yards. Bert Jones, a 17-yard TD pass to Roger Carr, was Baltimore's only points in the first half, and Roosevelt Leaks scored from a yard out in the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh led 26-7 at the half, and they beat Baltimore 40-14. Now next Sunday it's Pittsburgh in Oakland for the AFC Championship game. And Pittsburgh Steelers looked very convincing today in beating the Colts, and Baltimore was really never in the ball game after midway through the second period of play. Now, Bert Jones was 11 of 25 for 144 yards. The Colts on the ground gained a total of 71 yards. Lydell Mitchell, 55 yards, was the high man for the day on 16 carries, while the Pittsburgh Steelers gained a total of 228 yards on the ground. Franco Harris had 132 and 18 carries, and really that ground game just kept Baltimore at ease the whole game and really dominated the ball game. Terry Bradshaw had 264 yards. Kruzik had 44, 308 yards total in passing for Pittsburgh, 228 on the ground. That's a total of 536 yards on offense for Pittsburgh and a total of 40 points. And when you consider the fact that Pittsburgh blew a touchdown when they fumbled on the 2-yard line of the Colts, and Roy Girella missed an extra point, the score could have easily been 48-14. So the final, though, was 40-14. So we'll be back with more on the WCBM Scoreboard Show in just 1 minute. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tom Davis back at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, and a plane has just crashed into the upper deck. It's a private plane. It's a single-engine plane. Chuck Thompson has the binoculars on it. The plane has crashed into the upper deck around Section 1 or 41 behind home plate. The plane came inside the horseshoe of the stadium while we were out on the commercial, and the plane went into the upper deck as it tried to rise and get above the stadium. Luckily, there was no spectators around when it happened, and there are some spectators up there trying to get the person out that was flying the plane. The plane crashed into the upper deck, and luckily, no fans were hurt. Now, evidently, the driver of the plane is hurt, and there are fans up there now trying to free whoever was driving the plane.
They got him out, Tom. Before he came in, I saw a guy come around once before, and I said to Otto Bracey, I said, there's a guy buzzing the stadium, and here he came in again.
Chuck, you want to put the mic on? You got the binoculars on there.
He went to the closed end. That's when he crashed into it. I think before he was going to the open.
You're right. That's where I saw him, you know.
Chuck, put that other mic on if you want to real quick, and you got the binoculars up there.
Unbelievable.
I could not believe it. While we were out for the commercial, we were just standing here waiting to come back on the air, and this plane came inside the stadium, and it's a single-engine plane, according to Chuck Thompson. Chuck, you got Chuck's mic up?
I'm trying to see if there's any identifying marks on the airplane, but I can't see anything at all. The numbers are not available to me. It's just got a blue stripe around the tail section, and the manner in which it is sitting in the upper deck, we can't read the registration numbers on the plane. The pilot was carried out of the plane and is on his way now to the hospital, I would think. And the police did a very good job, along with the other personnel of the stadium, getting up there with a fire extinguisher. And fortunately, there were no spectators in that area in the closed end of the grandstand or the horseshoe, or there'd been many, many people hurt.
Chuck, I couldn't believe it when the plane started to go up in the air.
I said he'd never make it.
Oh, it was unbelievable. It looked like there was no way it was going to go up, and then he just crashed into the almost where the seats that are chair back end and where the bench seats begin, say in section 41 or 40, right behind home plate in the baseball section in the upper deck, and it's roughly about 15 or 20 rows up where the chair back seats end.
He hit the stadium, because if he had gone over, he would have killed a lot of people out in the parking lot.
That's right, Artie. Oh, my, it is unbelievable.
What's happening to our society? Are we getting that sick?
Oh, boy, I mean, it's...
I ran out of gas, Artie. I
hope it's that.
Well, you know, he had to do a heck of a bend to land in the playing field. Somebody's going back in the plane again
to see if there's anybody else in there.
Right.
As far as we know, there was just the pilot, but somebody is going in there now to... And apparently that was the only person in the airplane, Arthur, because they certainly would have made another effort to get another person out if there'd been anybody in there. They got the only...
sinking, Chuck, right? It looked like he just couldn't get that altitude going.
Well, there should have been no business for him to be inside this horseshoe to begin with.
Absolutely not. He broke every rule in the book in flying an airplane. And number one, he's not supposed to be at that kind of an altitude. And it was just, very poor judgment on the pilot's part.
Saw the plane come around?
Yep.
Yeah, they're bringing a stretcher, so there's a nurse there, Chuck. So there may be somebody still in the plane.
There might be another person. No, I think they're going to take it into the runway where the pilot is.
All I can say, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most astonishing things I've ever seen in my entire life. A plane came into Memorial Stadium about 3 minutes ago, a single-engine plane. It tried to get up behind the horseshoe, could not, and it crashed into the upper deck in the section 41 or 40, I'm not exactly sure, but it's right above the baseball press box in the upper deck. The plane now is nosedived into the stands with the tail portion standing straight up in the air. The gentleman who apparently was driving the plane or piloting the plane is out of the plane. The plane luckily did not get into any fire situation. Nothing really burst into the plane.
Thanks to the personnel around the stadium here who knew exactly what to do.
People, Chuck. I know, this reminds me of way back in World War II, the kamikaze pilots.
Well, that's
what it looked like.
I mean to tell you, I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. It was almost like seeing a movie come to life.
But, people are now, the greatest blessing, if there is a blessing in such a tragedy, is the fact that the seats where he hit were empty, and no spectators have been involved, other than for the man flying the airplane.
Can you imagine, Chuck, what would have happened if it would have happened, say, 2 minutes sooner? I mean, there were people still coming down there 2 minutes before that. I mean, it's just luckily that they got out of it.
Binoculars, and you can see that he... That's as Ernie Tyler points out, supposing, the score had been the other way and the Baltimore Colts had won the ball game, how many people would have been in that area? There'd been hundreds of people there, and it wouldn't have made any difference to the man flying the airplane. Obviously, his judgment was just not what was needed to successfully operate an aircraft, and unfortunately, he's paid a rather severe price for it.
Chuck, I noticed as I put the binoculars on there, he knocked out about 3 rows of those chairback seats.
And the first thing we did was to look to see, and there are no spectators involved. Just the person, so far as we know, the only injury that came as a result of this unfortunate incident has been to the person flying the airplane.
There's not too many people taking pictures either.
No.
Everybody's astounded.
I mean, I think most of the people here in Baltimore that are still in the stadium are in shock, and I would say it's less than maybe 2,000 people in the park right now.
Yeah, there's very, very few people.
All in all, it's just been a very unfortunate day for
Very
the
few
Baltimore
people at
Colts.
the end of the game. Not like 10 minutes later. I was watching, Tracy and I were watching a mounted police down there, and I was saying, gee, what a fine-looking group it is. And I saw a plane coming around. I said, I think somebody's buzzing his field.
I heard you say that, Arthur. I never saw the plane. I heard it but didn't see
and
it.
then again, I said, here it comes again. Here he comes.
Then I looked and saw
You
it.
think you were like in the movies.
Oh, it was unbelievable. All I can say is, it was just like a movie coming to life.